curiosity kind of went away, and now
Yeah, I
people
see
are
Well,
it with
cool, man.
Fortnite though. Fortnite
leveling,
has changed so
leveling out.
much.
Yeah, Fortnite is a
It's
completely
like
different
it's
beast
not
now.
Yeah,
even the same game anymore. It's like they got it.
it's a platform.
You got to give them credit. They keep changing it. It's not just the same basic thing you're doing. I think that's what kills a lot of these games is if you're just doing the same thing
Yeah,
over and
they're
over.
evolving.
For me, I'd be surprised if Among Us is still. I mean, it probably still has a decent amount, but I mean, after however long we played, maybe 45 minutes to an hour, it's like, dude, we're just doing the same thing every time. We're literally just doing the same thing, lying. It's like, how many times can you pretend like you're not the one, or
Oh,
if
Among Us. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
but from what I remember, they've added new
I'm not
game
sure what
modes.
they have and haven't had, but what's up?
Also, then I think it recently just got updated. I thought because the
Yeah, I think I
director
saw there's
developers.
something coming, or they did a little spin-off game or something. But
Yeah, well, that is getting its TV show.
so
Among Us.
Yeah,
I didn't know it
interesting.
was getting a show.
yeah, it's getting.
I
It
keep
was.
putting off
I think.
watching Fallout. Speaking of TV shows,
Fallout is great, bro. Great.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about Fallout.
I wasn't expecting much, but it's
It's,
really good.
I just,
Even if you don't care about Fallout, it's still a great show.
yeah, just this weekend I didn't do it. Like I didn't. I watched a little Star Trek Next Generation. Just kept watching. I've been watching that little by little. It's a bigger
You didn't watch The
undertaking.
Acolyte?
The acolytes. I don't have Disney Plus.
Man,
I don't.
George Lucas said it. He said Disney they don't understand Star Wars.
I hate to just listen to. I've actually found somebody. I was looking for like positive reviews. Like I was trying to find other than I'm not going to listen to the usual suspects. They're entertaining. I like listening to them
The review
after.
for Acolyte.
Yeah, I'm trying to find somebody. I discovered
Oh, I can give you one. I can give you one. Full of shit, complete
yeah.
bullshit. But
Oh, just like
Grace Randolph.
just somebody that's is she? Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
she loved. Like, she had me hyped. And I had no interest. And then when I watched, I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about, Grace?" It's just
because I
this is like, you know what it's like? It's like WB. What's this shit? Is that what it is?
yeah.
It's like
CW
WB Star Wars.
like CW. That's what
Huh?
I heard someone else
Yes.
say
Yeah. Sorry.
CW.
CW.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like CW Star Wars. Somebody else said that. That's hilarious
I
because
found this
I didn't really listen to any.
Colombian girl out of Florida who's made her channel out of shit or She-Hulk reviews, but she don't have like a huge following. But she says I'm the target audience from what everything they said about this show and some of the other shows. She's like I'm literally a target audience. Like I'm a person of color. I'm a woman. Like, and she just absolutely is like this show is terrible.
That should never be.
Like
Why is that the target audience? Well, just make the fucking show for
I
Star
know.
Wars fans.
Well, because they keep trying to say that the problem with Star Wars is the male audience is when these shows fail. It's like
I mean, you're not going to change the fact that women don't care about this shit. They just don't care.
and
You can add all the little CW shit you want. They're still not going to care about Star Wars the way we do. Women care about Star Wars. No, let me fix that. Women do care about Star
she
Wars.
loves
They
Star
just don't care
Wars.
about it in the
Like
droves that male audience do.
yeah,
So you can't. You're not going to make women like Star Wars 50 years later. It's just it's not going to happen. Stop it.
and it sounds like they really went stupid with like how the Force works and stuff. I know George Lucas made it with the Metachlorians was a dumb decision, but
Dude, I'm gonna spoil something because it pissed me off, and it happens in the first 10 minutes anyway,
yeah,
so it's not really a spoiler.
They kill off a character they've been hyped.
I'm fucking carrying them off. They have her in the promotional materials and all this shit, and she dies the first battle. I'm like, are you fucking kidding? I'm watching this show basically because of her, and you kill her off in 10 minutes.
She was all the promotion too. So
oh yeah.
Anyway, let's get on to we got a lot of games.
What a bunch of bullshit.
I
Bullshit.
did like the reason I was steering away from the usual suspects, the known Star Wars haters, because I thought Ahsoka was a pretty good show. After watching Rebels, I was like, that's a pretty good show. I didn't think it was like amazing, but I thought it was pretty good. And they act like it's like the worst show ever, and I can't believe somebody Yeah, they have different opinions, but these like Critical Drinker and some of his like some of those types of people's they did like Andor, which is surprising. Not everybody loved it as much as I did, but so I'm not gonna listen to people like that till maybe I'll after watch.
I just don't care about the character. I think I would like them more if it wasn't for Andor. He's
But
just boring.
Andor,
He's not
as an
a
example, has
great character.
Andor has a lot of female characters, a lot of complex characters, male and female. Like no one's. It's not like everybody's just like good and evil, like so simple. Like there's a lot of each character just has a lot of their storyline, their background. Like they really thought that stuff out. So I highly support that show. I was gonna buy the Steelbook, but it's a little overpriced for. It is 12 or 13 episodes, but I gotta support physical media when they release it. But I'll pick it up. I hate giving Disney my money, but I do want to. This is the right kind of time to spend money, in my opinion, is when they release physical media. Like Arcane, somebody picked up the rights to Arcane season 1, and it's coming out this year on 4K Blu-ray. So I'm pretty excited about that. But all right, let's get into it. I know Terrell, you got some Papa John's there, but don't want to interrupt.
No, it's not.
Oh, kind of looked like it.
No, you probably be more offended of what it actually is.
Is it pizza?
You probably guess.
Give
You
me
probably guess.
Domino's?
No. It's worse. Knowing you, it's probably gonna view it as worse.
To me, Domino's and Pizza Hut are the worst, but
Oh, okay, then it's Little Caesars.
oh well. If it's a hot and ready, I mean, it's not great, but at least it's cheap.
Which is why I haven't.
I like to put
Wait, is my
sriracha.
audio bad? Somebody says.
It's chopping a little bit, but I can still make out what you're saying.
I mean, is my mic bad? Or is
No, it sounds like a little bit of
It's like your connection.
like the connection's a little bad.
Oh no, that's what I get for being down here.
Papa John's is the best, Donnie. Donnie has suspect. takes.
You and him have a very fun relationship as of lately.
But anyway, let's talk about some games. I didn't watch Summer's Game Fest. I wasn't.
That's where the Among Us announcement was.
Let's start with the report on the pricing that Jeff Keighley's asking for that and the Game Awards, because to me that pissed me off. I was like, I'm not watching Summer's Game Fest because of that. So for those that don't know, for a 1 minute, I figured he had to like make deals with these people to get to fill out his show, and apparently $250,000 for a minute to have your game on Summer Game Fest, $300,000 for a minute and a half, and like $450 for a 3-minute trailer during Summer Game Fest. That's what they have to pay Jeff Keighley for their game. I'm like, if that's true, that's ridiculous. I mean, I know he can't.
Thinks he's the Super Bowl.
I figured all the ads and stuff where he got his money. I didn't know he was charging these companies. No wonder Nintendo hasn't been at the Game Awards or any of these events. Like, that's ridiculous if that's true.
I think it's true.
I'm not saying it has to be free, but I mean, $450,000.
It's not like he needs that amount of money for anything.
It's not like Game Fest, like he's flying people out, putting on a production, hiring a band, like have a host. It's just him. Like, it's just crazy to me.
It's for gaming, man. For gamers. Like this guy, man. Those prices are fucking. I got mad when I saw that. I haven't even watched any Jeff Keighley shit for the last few years, but sometimes I watch through Terrell.
Yeah. That's
so I did that again this time because I like his reactions and shit always. But I watched the last half an hour, some of the last hour with him and stuff. But even via Terrell, man, I just can't with Keighley anymore. It's just ridiculous. I mean, nobody's coming there anymore, really.
No, there's not. They're not. With these prices, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's got to be just. The Game Awards, I'm sure, is an expensive production to put on, but the Summer Game Fest, still, it's ridiculous. It makes
Summer Game Grift.
It's like. So that
but it might be cost some money to set up. But if you take into account, let's say there's only 10 companies that have a 1-minute trailer, this dude is raking in fucking millions already. But there's way more than that.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because he's gonna get views because there's nothing else. Thank you, E3. So there's nothing else. So he's gonna get views. People are gonna watch. They'll hate watch. They'll complain about the shit the same way they complain about Game Awards every year. But watch that bitch every year because there's almost nothing else. and so they'll watch it, and he will make money from
See how many
advertisements.
views.
Exactly.
And it's going to continue. So
the Game Awards official channel, which is him, only had 211,000 views. Like that's not a ton. That's not enough views to ask that kind of money.
yeah, but no, you gotta. They might have 211,000 views on their channel, but
Okay.
somebody else streaming it through their shit. So that's more.
Asmongold had 5 over.
They get over 1 million.
And they push that whole co-streaming thing. Like
Plus
you have to
Twitch.
I was
like
gonna say,
Right.
you have like
Yeah.
himself streaming it, but also all the
You have
streamers
a
streaming
bunch of
it.
streamers streaming it too. So
you're still
they
getting
make a
publicity.
lot.
Oh, I didn't even see the Quidditch stuff. I'm looking.
Oh, you
at
didn't?
Looking at an IGN.
Quidditch?
Oh, that's right, because you didn't watch
Quidditch.
Summer Gamefest. It was in that. That's why.
Oh, yeah.
God,
Yeah,
why
yeah.
do they go with the Fortnite art style? What the fuck? There's a lot
I
of
skimmed
games.
through that bitch. I wasn't gonna sit there for 2 hours and watch that shit. I don't know what y'all doing.
They did the Fortnite
I
art
looked
style
at
for
it's
the
over
Quidditch.
and I skimmed through the bitch, and it's the highlights.
Hey, the Power Rangers sprite-based beat 'em up.
Power Rangers was like the most
That shit looked-
Power
that
Rangers was like
shit
the most
looked
positive
awesome.
reaction everybody had. It was like, oh shit,
Yeah.
that was really nice. We might
Honestly, the
get there.
biggest like story was that the Lego Horizons games coming to Switch. I think that was like, for me, from the Gamesfest, that was the biggest thing I heard people talk about. Which, I mean, if it wasn't a Lego game, I think I'd be a little more surprised. But I don't know. How do you guys feel about Lego Horizon coming to Switch? Is that a big deal?
I mean, there have been rumors about that one, but it's kind of funny to me.
T said people are.
I'm
sure people are.
Is it a big deal? No, it's not a big deal if you and in the complete perspective of it. But yeah, it's a big deal because it is a Sony first party IP, one of the big ones. Yes, it's a Lego game, but that makes it even weirder. Like, why would you put it? That's like you have none of the games on the Switch, but you're gonna put like this Lego game with this character who you play if you're
because
well, it's probably because let's be real here. Look, Lego game price. Lego's game price the best on the Switch on Nintendo consoles.
I get it because it sells. But it's like, first of all, why are you making a Horizon Lego game anyway? It's like that's just weird to me.
Weird,
we're gonna increase brand appeal. All right, guys. Jeez, this is brand.
I like Horizon games. Don't get it twisted, but they're not Lego type of games. They're the characters are pretty bland. Most of them are like you do go for long standing like storied franchise stuff, not a game system or game series that's been around 10 years. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of weird to me.
It's funny that we're getting like a PlayStation. That's the funny part of it. You're getting a PlayStation game on Nintendo. It's like that whole third party discussion again. But when we're looking at the game itself, I like Lego games. I have the Star Wars Lego games. Lego City Undercover is honestly one of the better games out there. Period. It is incredible. But when I look at the gameplay for this Lego game, I don't know, man. It doesn't draw me in. The kind of like top-downy perspective. The gameplay seems really weak for a Lego game, even.
Honestly, to me, as somebody who doesn't care for the usual Lego style, I was like, at least it looks something a little different than the typical Lego game with the isometric like multiplayer. Almost looks like what's that PlayStation came out? Launched with Sackboy, the new Sackboy game. It kind of has that feel to it, but with combat.
It really does not. It's more like Minecraft Dungeons, if anything.
No, this looks more platformy and a little bit of combat than it does like casting spells.
Lego games are already simple.
Yeah.
That's kind of what they are, but most of them are really interactive. There's a lot to do, and I don't know. When I look at this gameplay, it feels very minimalistic. I think the fun part is just the fact that it's a PlayStation exclusive IP coming to Nintendo. But like even I who buy Lego games and who plays them, I'm not gonna play this. First of all, I didn't even care that much for Horizon. Like the gameplay in Horizon really balls shit out of me. But as a Lego game, it just doesn't.
Doesn't that come out this year? Is that a 2024 2025? Because I was like, why wasn't that at the State of Play? Like they could have used like...
That's this year. Yeah, that's this year, I think.
Yeah, it's this year.
All this year.
Yeah, it was a kind of a weird choice. Maybe Ashley Burke, the voice actor, can actually... Sounds like she's maybe had a little fun with the role. Instead of being just kind of always talking to herself, serious kind of dialogue. We'll see. But, yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's some diehard PlayStation
It's
guys
fine.
got upset about it, but I was like, I could see if it was like, to me, the Lego part just kind of makes it less like weird because Nintendo the Switch has almost every freaking Lego game. I mean, like the last time I looked at Best Buy, I was like surprised at all the Lego games the Switch has. Like it has a Harry Potter collection, like a bunch of old ones. So yeah, that to me that was the only thing I really heard about from the Game Fest. I'm watching the highlights on IGN. There's some games that look pretty decent just in their trailers.
There were some smaller things, but for the most part, that was probably one of the, I think, of the ones we've had, which is this, Xbox, and then Ubisoft earlier today. This absolutely was like the pits. I was like, holy shit, I gotta. I was like, man.
I don't know. Did he have his usual where he talked a lot in between each one?
No, he didn't.
No?
They were pretty fair. I mean, as far as like, it wasn't a lot of that, BS speak that happens in between trailers, but it was still, you still got some of it because of how many trailers there were, and it just lasted a long time. Also, I fucking love Devolver Digitals this year. That shit was hilarious.
Haven't seen that one yet. They're always really good.
Yeah, you're Retro. I think you have fun with it. It actually very much is like it's like a story within a game announcements. Like it's
That's
like
what they often do. They go like all out with that.
No,
shit.
it's like I don't want to spoil. Just go watch when you get a chance. Go watch Devolver.
Definitely still will, yeah.
I don't want to spoil that one for you. I feel like you'll have fun with it. I think Tia like it too, actually.
Yeah, I started to watch it, but I stopped for some reason. I forgot, but it seemed funny in the first few minutes of me watching it. So
yeah, it goes. It's a very interesting thing where I'm like, damn, well, I don't even care about the game announcement. Where's a part 2 to this? Like,
because Devolver Digital in general, they're good with the games always. They have like really addictive shit always.
Oh yeah, the games was cool. We were just so. I remember watching. I was just like, damn, I don't even care about the games at this point. I just want the rest of the story to play out because it kind of ends on. Well, I won't say that. It won't. I won't let me stop talking.
I think that we've seen already a couple times. Is it Project Zero or something? That
Project Zero.
Is it
the samurai thing?
Yeah, it's like a Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Japan style. I thought, oh, that looks pretty good. Then I hear it's like, this game is like years away from release or something like crazy. Like they're talking about how far away they are from releasing the game. I was like, dang it. It has I guess their demo coming out this year, but it's like it feels like a side effect of games development lengthening is that like we get games announced and then it's like who knows when it's coming out,
Yeah.
Other than Nintendo kind of changed their strategy a couple years ago. There's plenty of games that didn't even get a year. And it's like, does that mean it's past 2025 or they just don't want to say it just in case it's going to get pushed or something? But
that didn't
seems
stop.
like a lot of companies are aiming for 2025 now.
I feel like, I saw a lot of 2025s.
Yeah, a lot.
So
like we know Nintendo is gonna be there. PlayStation have already acknowledged that. Like I think Xbox is preparing stuff now. Like in 2025 we're gonna be broke.
Remember, wasn't 2023 the year we were saying that about in like 2020?
I feel like we say that a lot.
2022, we're like, man, 2023. If all these games come out, it's gonna be ridiculous. I mean, I feel
now
like
now it's 2025 though.
And it's like, how was 2023? I'm trying to think back to what games actually made it out that year, but because
it's all modern development where shit doesn't come out the when it's supposed to. So if we go about what they said and then they lie or shit changes and then by the time it hit the year you're like, damn.
And
there are more games out this year.
Even if it comes out a good trailer, like someone pointed out, everyone's getting excited about the new Alien movie, Romulus. And somebody pointed out perfectly on Twitter to bring her.
Better. That's not the same
Earth.
thing.
He's like, hey, you guys remember how awesome the Prometheus trailer was? I mean, I was hyped for that movie.
Oh boy, I was so hyped for Prometheus.
And yeah, Romulus could be. I'm not saying it's gonna be
How
the same,
disappointing.
but the trailer for Prometheus was freaking
It looks
amazing.
like old school
I don't
Alien
know.
for Romulus, man.
Well, that trailer was
Wait.
pandering too much for me. It worries me.
Yeah.
I'm worried.
It looks
I feel
a
like there
little
was some pandering.
too much like the original. But
All the way up to the like alien up to her face thing. Did you have to do that? You didn't have to do that.
it could be a good movie. I'm not saying it won't be, but yeah,
It annoyed me.
it's hard to trust. Like I'm skeptical of movie.
Nobody's favorite alien movie, by the way. Which was
I'd rather have him copy stuff that he did in the old movies and it looks like the old movies. Than I'm sorry, you guys know how I feel about Prometheus. And then inventing stupid shit that have to retcon 3 times after the movie gets released. Like just no, man.
Prometheus
Old
could
You
have
say
been
that-
better.
Let's go.
you say that, but then you're gonna sit there and be bored to shit. It's like, oh, they did that again.
We don't know
Remember-
yet. As of now,
Remember
I'm
this? I'm tempering my excitement. I hope it's great. But
Is
I'm
your
gonna
projector
temper.
on the screen behind you? Because it's blue screen.
oh, yes, it is.
My
It's
girlfriend,
okay. I have a
ex-girlfriend
wireless
left,
keyboard. Yes,
left my old projector on once, didn't shut it off. I didn't catch it till the next day, and the bulb was burnt out from that.
Oh, it doesn't
constant
turn itself off.
I don't know if this is a different one. I don't know if this one turns off.
It turns itself off.
But yeah, I mean the bulb only has a certain amount of life on it, so
Like if I had just left the screen alone, it would be like, all right, not using me, so I'll turn myself off.
okay. I don't think
It's
I
done
ever
that
tested
before.
that. But anyway,
Yeah.
my point was like basically a trailer at this point of anything. Okay, I'm intrigued or I'm not intrigued by the trailer, but I'm not gonna be like, you convinced me it's a good game based on like the reveal trailer. Like I usually like to see the IGNs or somebody or the developer themselves release like an actual 5 to 10 minute gameplay where it's uninterrupted. You can tell a human being's playing it, and you get an idea of what you're in for when you play the game. But trailers can get me excited or intrigued to want to see that next step. And I think that's
I think the big problem I have also these days is a ton of companies when they announce a game, it's coming, but then it releases as like a beta or a pre-alpha or a demo, and then by the time that comes, like you just never know when the actual game finally is made, and you just start fucking losing interest at that point.
or the demo comes out and it's Forspoken and is like instantly turned off after like 2 hours in the demo. I was like, I was gonna buy this game, and the demo changed my mind. It wasn't terrible, but it was just kind of mediocre. So a demo can be a bad thing too, because if it depends on the game. I'm trying to think of one in recent memory where everyone's like, yeah, the demo just did not do the actual game justice, and turn a lot of people off. So it's just, I don't envy these companies that trying to figure out how to appeal to people, because who knows? I don't think anybody was looking forward to Helldivers based on the trailers all the time. Sony put it in their events, and then the game comes out and it's just like catches on fire, and it's like I just don't know what the answer would be if I'm somebody trying to decide how to promote your game. Like there's no formula. I don't think that's guaranteed to work. So just looking at these trailers, try to name like 20 games from the weekend you saw, Terrell. You think you can name 20?
You mean in total?
Yeah, out of everything you saw, you think you could?
Is it new games or like?
Yeah, it'd have to be. It can't be like an
Oh, hell
expansion
no.
to a game that's
No.
Is this a new
No.
Fatal Frame or Fatal Fury?
Yeah. Well, you're talking about the Street Fighter 6 DLC, are you?
No, it's Fatal Fury. Looks like a kind of like a.
Oh,
Didn't we know that already though? That they're working on that?
I don't know.
yeah, the problem is, what was that game? Who was it? Oh, Juice, you told me in the Ubisoft thing with the Prince of Persia game, the remake.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, that's new." You're like, "No, man, they
Terrell, you lost. You treaded into
checked-
casual territory a few times out in your stream, not knowing things like. I forget. You're like.
Well, that Prince of I'm gonna be real
You
with that
got
Prince of
people on
Persia.
stage banging drums. You got a silhouette of a samurai, and he's
Oh, it
like,
took me a minute.
I don't know
Yeah,
what
it took
game
me.
this. I'm like, it's Assassin's Creed, dude. It's Ubisoft.
It took me a minute. Okay.
Like
I was like,
Just
damn, we're already.
Dance?
Want to watch because they always do presentations with Just Dance.
And you don't remember the Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake? From
No,
like 2019?
I knew I went. I have like you know something. I have no history with Prince of Persia like at all. I didn't play any of the old games.
It looked hideous. It was like such a big deal, and then they pushed
it
it a
was
year.
bad, like some cell phone shit.
And then they
restarted.
bad, it's a Metroid Prime 4 situation. They're like, yeah, we're restarting, and now it's 2026. I'm like, damn, that's a long ways out. It'll go by quick though. The way these years have been going by the last few. Something else too. I was like, dude, you don't know what this is? Get the fuck.
I'm trying to think of, at least from Ubisoft, I can't think of anything else.
I think it's
fast when you're waiting on that Switch too.
It might have been Xbox.
I gotta admit, I didn't see the State of Decay until the title. I could not fathom what it was.
Really?
I completely forgot about that.
See, there's some titles just don't stick in your head. And I bet you haven't played the other State of Decays, have you?
No, but
it's the same thing. Like if I don't
probably 2 years ago.
No. We're not gonna equate State of Decay and Prince of Persia as like equal franchises and shit.
I'm not saying they're the same. No. I'm not saying they're the same tier. But if I haven't played the game, don't expect me to know it like that.
That was like a big. People were ripping that game for how hideous it was.
Only
it was like
you remember, it's, at least in my gaming circle, the only people really brought it up with you guys, too. And we didn't bring it up all the time. Damn it!
It was like the Halo Infinite. What did they call the dude? The face. Craig. Yeah, it was like that, but the Prince of Persia. And somebody combined them together. I still have I think I had a screenshot on my phone from like back then, where somebody combined Craig and the Prince of Persia remake into like. It was funny as shit. But yeah, I mean, yeah, the Games Fest thing, I guess the Ubisoft counted as under the Game Fest tag. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it is. If you go on their site, they count.
Devolver
Ubisoft.
Probably was.
Yeah, it was.
Overall, just looking at the recap, I mean, there's a couple good games, a couple of cool, I mean, maybe decent announcements. Nothing major, or stuff we already knew about. Just got some more footage.
Was Power Rangers the best shit to come out
of? From the Summer Game Fest.
Well, as far as like new announcements, I thought some games we
new announcements.
It's one of the better ones. I think it's probably up there.
I mean, that shit looked awesome. It looked insane.
Look cool.
I don't like the animation part of it, but I like the actual game part of it. I just don't like the animation.
No, roller coaster and shit on like 3D, like basically 16-bit 3D. That shit was awesome, bro.
Was there other old games that were
There's a bunch. Super Nintendo, yeah.
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 Oh, yeah, you got perfect for it.
Nintendo, Game Boy Advance.
It says Reader Rewind.
Used to make them all the time.
Like a remake kind of. I'll watch the full trailer.
No, I think that has to do with the plot. Why they call it Rewind.
I have the new Power Rangers movie. I've seen it a few times because it's like one of the best sounding movies out there.
Wait. Oh, for some reason I was thinking of Ivan Ooze.
It could have been. They made a few mistakes and then kind of got stupid, but I was with it for the first half. I was like, all right, this is better than I expected, and then kind of falls apart the end. Obviously,
I like that movie though.
I like that movie. I will say I like that.
I like it because the end
is perfect.
The problem is the end took too long, like to get there, and it was over quick.
Mm-hmm.
It needed more power.
They had the movies and shows thing that they instantly knew how to use their vehicles. No train, it's just one of those leaps of logic that is like you could at least had them train a little bit with the vehicles. So it's like it's just
it's like it took a long time to develop all the characters, and you barely had Power Rangers stuff.
Right.
That's what
that was
this
a
is great.
problem.
Give me a sequel where you have more Power Ranger. It could be great. Man, you had that scene where they're walking out in the suits for the first time in slow motion. God damn, man, this show was fucking awesome.
It was fitting for the source material too. I mean, it's a goofy show.
Yeah. I liked it, but it just took too long to get there. And then when it got there, they were fast.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no.
So anyway, that was the Summer Game Fest. I mean, I can't score it because I didn't watch it. Didn't sound like it was too exciting. He even said in advance, "Hey,
everybody else gave it a D." So
yeah, there's no new. There's no one, he said no one last thing. Just setting expectations low for That must feel good to those companies that spent the 200,000-300,000 for the minute-long presentation.
I know, right?
I
I'm pissed
mean-
off. Like, what?
Get
Give
your
me my money back.
expectations in line. This is gonna suck.
My favorite thing though is there's a game in here. It's called like Kingdom something. Where is it? It was like
Kingdom Come?
Yeah, Kingdom Come. That's what it was. And every Kingdom Hearts fan, if you watch the reaction, had a fucking aneurysm because he starts off with Kingdom, and he's like, "Come, oh!" And they thought it was Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, okay.
That they literally were having like full like,
You think it was trolling?
Yeah,
that's funny.
You should go. If you get a chance, look up some of the Kingdom Come reactions. It's hilarious.
Kingdom Hearts is gonna come out at the same time as the Elder Scrolls 6.
Hey man, Josh, we're not doing this. We're not doing that.
So I guess
and be completely forgotten.
There's an announcement. I don't know if it was after the new footage of the Black Myth Wutong or whatever that game is. Apparently, it's got delayed for Xbox, and people are speculating if it's the Series S, holding it back like Baldur's Gate or something else, because that game looks pretty demanding. Even some of the shot trailers like looks like it's stuttering a little bit, and it looks the scale looked pretty.
That's a misnomer.
But for whatever reason, it's not coming day and date on the Xbox, so I don't know. I mean, the game's got some amount of hype to it. I don't know if I'm sold on it at this point, but
the problem is it's a smaller studio, so they don't have the resources to work on a lesser version. That's what happened with Baldur's Gate. Yeah, that's what happened with Hogwarts. So it's like that's the reason. The game will obviously scale. It's going to be on fucking Steam Deck. It obviously can scale for Series S. Like that's not a problem. So it's just resources. It's a resource issue than anything.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's
nobody's going to remember this.
Depends on how long.
As far as
is it going to be a few
delay?
Months? Could it be a year? I don't know. But I mean, I'm kind of kept my eye on it since it's first real. I thought it looked a little ambitious in its scope, but we'll see if they can bring it home, because I don't know that they have any other games under their belt either, like big games like that.
A lot of these games are like melting together to me. They look so similar, and
I'm getting a little sick of like the not just feudal Japan, but that aesthetic of like
fancy Japan shit.
The Raiden hats, the bamboo, the flowing grass, the
Raiden hat.
So like what Edo time period.
It
Japan?
seems like there are a lot of games kind of going in that route. There was
there is
that Wuchang game
it definitely is.
And
it's been apparent in the last couple of years actually.
It sucks because when they probably started their game, it wasn't a thing. Like there wasn't a lot like that. Now they're all kind of coming out in a couple years.
Well, they should hurry up.
And then it's like,
ain't got any money.
Sony's probably working on Ghost of Tsushima 2, and it's like by the time that comes out, there'll be so many damn feudal Japan.
People are gonna be over that feudal Japan shit by then. God
I will
dang.
say, I wasn't like, oh my god, it looks amazing, but I thought Assassin's Creed Shadows actually looked pretty good when they showed the game.
It looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. Too bad it's Ubisoft game.
I mean, they have the game engine because Avatar looked phenomenal. There was a couple shots where I'm like, was it Assassin's Creed or this? It was Star Wars Outlaws. I'm like, they pulled that straight from Avatar, the Avatar game. Like that's literally the same.
Deck owner, as a person who plays on PC, like Ubisoft games, I don't even think about them because they're fucking. What do they call it? The Uplay. Login shit. It completely fucked my save. 80 hours in fucking which one was it? Watch Dogs Legion. Completely gone. It still says I have 80 hours in it, but it wants to start me back from the fucking beginning, and I don't know what the fuck to do.
My Ubisoft account saved me 100 hours in Immortals because my PS5 got it deleted. It got overwritten. I'm like, what the fuck? And I went to the
I don't know what the fuck to do
because I logged into my whatever triangle, whatever, to go to that and it had my previous save file, and I could download. I was like, thank God. Like, otherwise, that would have been devastating. But yeah, that's weird because the last time I played a PC game, Ubisoft game, I bought it on Steam, and it does. I don't know if it still has to boot up Uplay. I don't even have it installed on my computer anymore.
It does.
So I'd be curious.
If you got an Ubisoft game, especially a modern one, you're going through Uplay, and
before
that just kills all my motivation.
They were trying to get you to buy it on Uplay. Now you can buy it on Steam, but it still shows
still got to log in.
Well, it's kind of like I booted up Doom Eternal last night, and it's still that whole you got to log into Bethesda. I'm like, damn, guys, like, can I just
really?
So bullshit.
Yeah, you gotta log into.
I don't even know what my login is for Bethesda, but I'm guessing
because you probably only used it once. That's probably why.
It didn't ask for it a second time, so I just boot the game up.
Well, don't worry, you'll be using it again for Doom: The Dark Ages.
I think if I played on the same account, maybe or same profile, maybe it's linked to my PlayStation account.
Man, they lucky that those games are good. That's all I'm gonna say.
I thought Doom Dark Ages to me was like the standout game of the entire weekend.
I would agree.
I trust Idsoft. I would say that clip, it was just like I'm not doubtful that wasn't like what the game's gonna be, but it did feel like they just kind of cut together some stuff that didn't. I don't know if it was necessarily like actual someone playing it, or it's just like, hey, this is what you know what Doom is. This is what we're going for. But I thought I liked the mix of the dark, like the medieval kind of castles and stuff in Doom. I thought that was a pretty cool idea to mix it up, because honestly, you can't just keep doing the same thing. But
I can't be in hell the whole time.
I still prefer the 2016 game. I did like that survival horror-ish kind of feel to the exploration in the darker environments, but Doom Eternal changed.
I was gonna say, do you prefer it over Eternal or not?
Yeah, Doom 2016 is still like one of my favorite games.
Like, I would say like by a decent bit, or is it like neck and neck?
By quite a bit. Like I can't see myself playing Doom Eternal through again after I went through it. I did a lot. No, I mean I did a lot of the stuff.
No, I
didn't 100%, but Doom 2016.
Is it different? Is it like did you replay 2016?
I played it like 3 times, and 100%.
Okay, so there's something specifically about Eternal that makes you not want to go back through it.
It's just I don't know, the bigger open environments. It feels more like
that could obviously affect wanting to go through it again.
I don't know. I think it's probably a longer game. I feel like it was quite a bit longer game. And it's it's cool. I liked it a lot, but I just something about the Doom Eternal kind of feel it has those alien vibes. Being on the ship, dark, a lot of dark areas, and just the lighting and stuff. I don't know. I felt being kind of the inside, the enclosed environments. There was some outside stuff too, but it just clicked a little more. It almost felt like a evolution of a Metroid game. If you take away like the really intense combat scenarios, it kind of felt to me like a Metroid, an evolution of a Metroid Prime game.
Ayers just made a great point. We've seen 3 Doom games released in the time we've been waiting for.
Pretty much. Doom 3 could be sad. Doom 3 could be 2016 though. I don't know that unless it said 2015, 2025, 2026. I meant.
I'm pretty sure it's 2015 or
2015.
Yeah, that's 2025. That's what the trailer said.
They revealed Returnal a couple years in advance. But I thought that was. I mean, I don't count the Call of Duty in the beginning. No, everybody.
They gave it its own little direct afterwards. I was like, why the fuck is it? I mean, I get it, but damn.
They're pushing this bitch, man. They're trying to get some subscriptions out there. God damn it! This is what they should be doing. Making a whole fucking. I don't like the fact that they used the name direct. That shit annoy it out of me. They should come up with their own goddamn name.
He didn't say the Switch in particular, but he did say bringing it to everybody, and I don't know if that meant
It's only been announced for like the modern consoles, although it is also coming out on
It was
PS4.
on, June 2016 was on Switch, so I'm guessing it'll be on
But
Switch
I think
too.
the file size is gonna really be the problem for Call of Duty games on Nintendo platform. I mean, obviously they can scale it down, but it's not just high res textures taking up all that.
Call of Duty, yeah, it ain't gonna be the exact same game. I mean, but Call of Duty is mobile now, so.
I also was just curious if this was the beginning of that agreement.
He did say the same game, all the same getting everything at the same time. So we'll see.
Yeah, they're gonna scale the bitch down. You won't get all the, the cool audio, all that shit. I mean, that's gonna be like
I wonder how small
squished down to nothing.
That's gonna be like the real question. Because I mean, 300.
I mean, it's not gonna be on a cart. You can forget about that.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna be on no cart. You're gonna be downloading that bitch. Which
309 gigs at launch, and like my nephew was telling me, each update for the past few years, every time they do an update, is like 50 to 70 gigs. Like when they patch or new maps or whatever.
That's laziness.
That's ridiculous. Just lazy. It shouldn't have to just be added on. It should basically reconfigure it so the file size doesn't get that much bigger. But yeah, that's just crazy to me, man.
Cloud Call of Duty, that's a waste of time. You don't even do that. Don't do that.
It'd be a way to get it on
unless
the Switch.
Unless you're just playing the fucking game. You ain't streaming no Call of Duty.
Just release Black Ops 1 and 2 or something on the Switch. We know those can
just shoot yourself.
So
no, they have to bring. They said they signed a deal. They signed a 10-year deal. They have to put Call of Duty games. Yeah, you can't just bring a bunch of old games. So it's going to happen.
The question is,
it's going to suck as far as your SD card goes.
Are they going to try it for this one, or are they going to wait till the next game to do the Nintendo deal? We'll see.
Well, I don't know what the exact deal is, but they said when they were talking about it, 40 million new players, and they were counting Switch. Is what they were counting. Even though obviously. Some of those systems are duplicate systems. Again, I have 5 Switches in my house, so
2.
Yeah, I do so too. I need to sell one of these.
And let's be real. I mean, even when the Wii was gangbusters, I mean, Call of Duty sold 1 million.
I would say, yeah, it did. It sold pretty well. All of them. They all sold 1 million copies.
I don't know that the Switch is going to be
about the game itself.
I think maybe the Switch install base, it's going to do better than the Wii versions. But I don't know that I would expect like 10 million or anything on Switch.
No, that ain't happening. You might get a couple. You might get a couple million. I mean, if they're good enough, they look good and clean, and they have all the, some fans who aren't gonna buy one of the consoles. I mean, there's enough. Look at the Wii. The people talk about the Wii there's no software. That's just sold 1 billion pieces of software. They only played fucking. People only played Wii Sports on that bitch. That's not true. They sold 1 billion pieces of software on the Wii. So that's in my head because I have a Wii video coming. That's
crazy though. Doom 2016 came out. Obviously, they were working on that years in advance. Not like they started Doom 2016, but they probably started that in like 2010, 2011 because they had to completely reimagine.
Yeah, they had to restart it.
Yeah, they had no engine to run with. They were just going off of that was
upgrade their engine and stuff.
When Doom 3 came out, what, 2005? That was the last Doom game.
Yeah.
So they had they were working on that bitch for a long time.
Doom Eternal and Doom 3 probably make it out in the time it took them to get Prime 4 made.
Yeah.
But anyway,
that shit looked amazing.
If anybody wants to like run through the recap of the Xbox or talk about the highlights.
You want me to?
I got it right here. I don't have an order.
I knew he had it. He had the damn
image.
I was
a little worried
I just
in the
pulled it up.
To be honest, after Doom, it went. They had like the CG trailer for State of Decay. Then they had like I don't know if it was the World of Warcraft one. There was something else that I was like, man, but it got better after that. So at the first couple, I was like, man.
Even if it's free, that's not the thing. Like even if it's games I don't care about, to me, it was the pacing. It's like, oh, they were just getting through games, and like even if it's a game that I didn't care about, they didn't land on anything.
I thought
I was never bored.
I thought the Fallout 76, it wasn't that long, but I thought it was way longer than it needed to be. That one, I think that was one of the ones not too long after Doom. I'm like,
It's one of the most popular, lucrative games.
Is it actually? People are still playing it. Like to me,
yeah.
I thought that.
Fallout 76 is huge again.
Like crazy, yeah.
That shit came back like crazy.
Did it?
Specifically 76. Even before the show. No. Even before the show, 76 was doing really good. Like it obviously started off.
I mean, after the show, they even stated the user base increased like a motherfucker after that.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah. But either way, whether it's Nintendo or Nintendo likes to,
I don't care.
Put their directs. They like to put in their updates to games that have been out. It's just, to me, it's like if I wasn't watching it live, as soon as I know what it is, like, oh, it's news content for a game I don't play. That's when I'd like to be able to skip ahead. But I watched it live until like after the mech game, then I had to go somewhere. But other than that, I thought it was decent.
We got Call of Duty. We talked about that. We talked about kind of Decay. Wu Chang.
Yeah.
Doom.
I was curious.
So
once y'all opinions about the Indiana Jones.
Let's talk about Wu Chang first, because I have something to say. Because I got into the Souls-like games recently, and the trailer does look good. I found a video of like 20 minutes of gameplay, but I don't know if it was old. It looked really rough. The trailer looked better. The combat looked like you're just swinging at air, like it had no impact on the enemies. The main character was walking super stiff, so I don't know. It could have been old footage. The game could be, I don't know when it's supposed to come out. Could be off. I lost a little bit of the Steam. The excitement kind of dwindled a little bit, but that could have been old. Somebody edited the new trailer and footage together, so I don't know. Like I said, it could have been really old. So I thought it looked really cool in the trailer, but when I saw the gameplay, I was a little less interested, but we'll have to see. What's up, Sam?
What else?
What's good?
Yeah, I thought I heard that.
Finally ate all my food. I got yelled at a couple times.
And eat
what?
Terrell's been eating the whole time.
That's why I was confused. I was like, what?
Oh no, he let us know that he didn't join earlier because he was told by his mom he had to eat dinner first.
Damn.
Finish all my food. Let me see it. There's nothing left in the bowl. Did you have a second?
You had to go show.
I'm not hungry.
You had to go show him the bowl and everything. Like, it's empty. Look,
dude, I ate so much. Yesterday I had a bunch of fried bluegill, which is like perch for anybody that doesn't.
Oh yeah, that's so good.
And we had some steak tenderloin. It was good. Some good desserts. But anyway,
where are we? Warcraft. I thought they were going to announce it for console. That would have been big.
Yeah, I was expecting. That trailer lasted so. I was like, bro.
And that was just a cut of all the CG from all.
Yeah, Warcraft was long. I will say that was long.
Warcraft, I'm like, and there's no console announcement. That's what I expected with it being.
And they already knew about it, and that all that footage was all old. Like all their expansions, that was footage. Because my buddy always makes me watch because the CG's amazing on those expansion announcements.
Well, you talk about as Jay Biggs brought it up. I want to talk about South of Midnight. That shit looked fucking amazing to me. Amazing. Yeah, I didn't think too much. I mean, yeah, like I was like, oh god, is that gonna work? Like when you're actually in gameplay playing, and it totally worked for me, and it looks great.
I was a little turned off about the choppiness. I like that stop motion look, but I don't know. I'd have to play it to know. But I thought it was a little.
Yeah. It's weird when the cutscenes running a lower frame rate than the game. It was a little jarring.
It's not really. It's not the frame rate. It's just the stop motion animations. Look.
It's the animation.
So it's just like purposely. It's not, the frame rate.
It looks.
He's pausing.
Oh, he got it again.
I would say it gave me Kana vibes. a little bit in the.
That's
like,
actually what I said in the dang reaction. I was
did
like,
you?
I
watched
said it
your
reminds me of
reaction,
Kana.
Yeah.
I mean, I
It
wouldn't
reminds me
even
of-
call that stop motion though. That is a frame rate thing. It's like imitated stop motion.
Yeah,
There's
it's
no way
ju-
that's
Well, the
actually
frame
stop
rate
motion.
could be 30 to could be 60, and they're still making it look like that.
Oh, yeah, no, but that's what I mean. But they're doing it on purpose. It's not like they made it stop motion. It's like an effect they're using.
Yeah, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not the frame rate.
The point is that it's not actually chugging or
it could be
anything.
running at 60 FPS, but look like that because that was intentional. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I just it was a little.
It didn't
looked
do
a little
much
funky, but
for me.
the only thing, my only concern.
Jay Big says I'm in South of Midnight World.
Yeah, you are.
This Something Midnight didn't that come out like next month? I think isn't that the one that comes out in like
Yeah.
July?
Isn't it?
No, that's
Yeah.
This
I thought
one.
it
Was that
South
this
of
year?
Midnight's not this year.
I thought it was
No,
July.
it's next
I
year.
thought. Oh no, not that one.
Uh-uh.
It's one of the games they announced. Hold on, I'll look.
I
it
think
up.
I was
pretty
like,
much
dang,
everything
July,
this year
and
we
you
already
just
knew
heard about.
was already something we knew about. There was one where I was like, "Oh, that's coming out this year," but the rest were like,
Yeah, there was one game that was a surprise this year, I guess, but pretty
I
much
think
everything else was.
Avowed, Flight Simulator. They said Saint Indiana Jones didn't have a month. And
It's
like
still
the
coming out this
expansions
year,
and stuff
supposedly.
were all
Yeah.
this year.
It still said this year. Stalker 2 got a
Stalker
date,
2.
which was awesome. The game looks
That
so
was the
good
one.
too.
That was the
And-
one that I
And
was thinking. So the only concern I have
And
about the
God bless those developers. I don't know how.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do what they're doing in their situation. But
Who?
wow,
Who?
the
Stalker 2
guys.
developers.
Oh yeah.
The only thing about the South of
Um,
Midnight that had me is I'm thinking based on what they
The voice
showed,
acting was
it might
fucking
be
awesome, too.
it might be a little
Yeah.
like very linear. Unless they just played that way, it almost felt like you were
Yeah, that's why I said it felt linear the same way Kenneth feels linear. Like there's some you can deviate off the path and whatnot, but it felt very
Yeah.
much to me watching it.
They show it doesn't look like you
It
had
felt
any
like
time
Tenet.
to like explore that church. Like you, unless before you ring the bell, you have all kinds of unlimited time. I'm not sure because I do like to look around and stuff. So, but that looked pretty good. I like a unique art style. It stood out from everything else. There's nothing else.
I
that
thought the
looked like
voice acting was fantastic.
I like the
that was another
design of
thing.
the
Mhm.
fish and the crocodile.
It sounded authentic,
Authentic. Yeah.
and it was good. It was very good. The
It's
storytelling
it's
seems
a unique
cool.
idea with like the talking fish and stuff. So we'll see. But is that?
Okay, so we said Avowed, which
I thought that trailer did a lot better.
it got shown off even. Yeah, it definitely was better than the last one, and they actually deep dived it. I don't know if you guys
I didn't
noticed
see
that.
that.
No.
That was today. I think that was today. Had an interview with developers, and they deep dived that one even more. They had a gameplay sequence. That
Yeah,
was
I was
pretty good.
watching that and I'm like, wow, this looks like a better version of Avowed. Like I didn't think it was Avowed. I was like, man, they're showing off a game that looks better than Avowed looked, and it was Avowed. So they did a better job with this trailer. I thought the first time they showed it, I was like, I don't know.
Man, the
about
first time they showed it was like off. It was off.
Yeah,
Like,
it was
oh,
off.
we get sands
Uh,
and more sands.
So I thought actually was surprised.
Dragon Age Veilguard.
I thought that was a pretty
Um,
lame trailer.
I was surprised by its visual style.
I didn't
It's
Somebody
very
said,
different
I saw a
from
funny tweet though. It
the
said,
last one. I thought.
It said, "Live long enough to die as." Oh wait, what's that phrase from The Dark Knight? Either die. It said either die
as a hero.
Either die
No,
as
it
a
said
hero
either
or
die
live
as
long
Dragon
enough
Age.
to be a villain.
It said either die as Dragon Age or live long enough to see yourself become Fortnite.
Oh, that's-
I never played.
that's-
I never played
That's painful.
the franchise, but I was surprised by like the Overwatch-ish like character reveals. I don't know how. Dragon
Yeah,
Age
that's
works.
why
Yeah,
it threw me off.
it's very different from. I didn't even think that was Dragon Age when I saw it.
So
Yeah.
the Dragon Age people that I seen talking about it didn't seem to be too thrilled with the change. So and they didn't
Yeah.
show anything. It was just
I'm not a hardcore Dragon Age fan, but I played first, so the last two. And
Didn't the second Inquisition look like Dragon's Dogma? Didn't it? Kind of like that.
yeah,
kind of style?
Inquisition looks more like it looks more like a you know what's Elder Scrolls or something even.
So I don't know.
But yeah,
And it was weird that they showed it the way they did too. It was like just cinematic, so it could be years away. I'm not sure. So yeah, that
that's
one was
all right.
kind of like
What I saw,
that was a
what I
that
saw, I
trailer
wasn't excited for.
That trailer felt like it was 3 minutes long. I don't know how long it was. That one felt pretty long.
Age of Mythology. I don't even remember that one.
That was the Age of Empires
Expedition
style.
33.
That looks good. The Expedition 33.
Expedition 33 looked
Stole the
cool,
show,
bro.
Yeah.
Talk about a unique take on turn-based. Like I've been saying the same thing for 30 years about turn-based.
Thank you.
It's just like
bringing back my turn-based major game.
It's just like the Pokemon argument. It's like, hey, get in a battle, you're in a different environment, and then Pikachu just moves, and then it's like have some actual visceral things happening. It can be turn-based, but still be like exciting to watch. And I thought that looked pretty cool. So, and the concept's cool.
I got OJ excited about that one. So they did their RPG on the Hunter.
Just the idea of the story.
Yeah.
But no, it looked cool. It looked really good.
I'm not saying I'm gonna play it, but I thought it stood out.
I don't know why that cracked me up.
Well, I think it's kind of they're not doing it on purpose, but it's kind of a thumb in the nose of people who say this is the remake of Final Fantasy. That's how it had to be. No, it didn't. It could have been this. It could have been that. So
they do have the turn-based option in the game. It's not.
It's not
great, but
come on.
Yeah, it's not
come
great.
on now.
It's not like that. I mean, it's basic
It's
turn-based.
Like,
it's this traditional.
It's like fast food turn. It's like turn-based for like fast food version.
They actually have a full-on turn-based that's not very good. I mean, I don't like turn-based, so I didn't like it.
We're saying the same thing.
It's like a janky. It's like essentially taking the main combat of the game and then like turning it into turn-based, which you can tell it was never meant to be turn-based.
It was never. Yeah, it was meant to be.
Well, the main combat has you can kind of hold the direction and have somebody do an action, like it kind of pauses. Then they actually have the traditional lineup.
I wasn't expecting to have a debate on this. I just thought
that's like saying that's like saying the Tales of games are turn-based, man. Like, nah, come on.
Actually, that's actually what it reminds me more of. Is a Tales game. Like the way the remake plays, it reminds me of Tales. Because Tales does have that portion where you pause.
Yeah, just like the moves and that kind of stuff. But it's not
actually that's the exact. Actually, you know what? That would have been the best comparison. It plays like a Tales game, low-key.
You talking about the main combat or the actual option?
Yeah, the main combat of the remake plays like Tales, where if you go look at Tales of any game except for maybe I guess Arise, it's that whole you pick your character, pick the attack, and then your character does the action.
No, Tales of Arise is the exact same. The only difference, Tales of Arise is more on a 3D playing field.
That's what it was. Yeah,
it plays exactly the same as any other Tales.
Adamfall. It's sticking in my head for some reason. I thought I don't remember it though.
Was that a first-person shooting robot kind of guy and like a?
I felt like it was good,
like
but I didn't the name.
It looked like it was like Fallout before Fallout.
Okay, yeah, now I remember. Yeah, I thought that looked interesting to me. I don't know if it's gonna.
It was more of a
actually
tease.
turn out.
I don't really think they didn't really show too much to give you an idea.
All right. I know the name. I saw it. I was like, oh yeah, I think I like that one. I don't remember it though. Mecha Break.
Yeah, that one looks good. That one was really good. That one looks really good.
Is that? Oh yeah, that was the. Oh yes, okay. I was like, I know.
And it's like it feels like it looked like super fast paced, and I fucking
looked like what Star Fox could turn into a little bit. Not exactly, but
I like the way.
Yeah, I remember that. That was cool. That was
I like the way
that was new. I don't remember singing it. Was that a new game?
No, that was So apparently it was in Summer Gamesfest, but it was like a smaller trailer. This one.
Oh, that's why I don't remember it. Then.
Yeah, exactly. But it was a longer trailer than the Xbox one. Yeah. That one looks pretty good. I ain't got no negativity towards that one. I'm like, all right, we can
It felt like
Deus Ex,
for me
or
it
not Deus
reminded me like
Ex.
GameCube era, like what was it? What was that? I guess it was a Gundam game that I really liked. I can't remember the name of it.
Was it?
It gave
was
me
it
those
Dynasty
vibes.
Warrior
If it was a
Gundam?
Gundam game, that
It
was
reminded
enough.
me of the Switch game a little bit.
Oh, you talking about
Battle Cry.
Xbox.
What was it called?
damn it, Axiom? No,
Damon X
Robojack?
no.
Damon X Machina.
Yeah.
There we go,
You
Damien
talking
Machina.
about-
Yeah.
Demon X Machina. Yeah.
You said
No,
GameCube.
I can tell nobody here
Yeah.
played and beat that game.
Nope.
I mean,
I played the demo,
my-
man. I
in
fucking
this
hated the
game,
controls of that shit.
Oh, there you go. I went out and got the fucking stupid edition, throw your money away edition with the came with the mech statue. It's pretty cool though. Yeah. So Fable looked fucking amazing visually. That game looked amazing.
I like the tone. I like the tone.
It definitely stood out.
I like the
And
the
it has
humor.
that
I feel like the humor
kind of quirky
landed.
British humor.
I will say, I think the main character looks pretty good actually. I don't know if they reworked
I think it's
it
kind of
or
messed up to say she was ugly. It looks like the actress to me. There's an actress that she's modeled
I think
after.
she looks
I think.
alright. Like I'm not like, oh my god, but I don't know if they did anything. The only thing I was disappointed in is they showed some walking and stuff and looked like obviously was the game, but they didn't really go into detail. Well, I mean the game still did it even have a year? Did that have a year?
It's at least a year. No, it's 25, but it's like it's going to be at the end of 25, no doubt. It's going to be
the
fall.
trailer didn't have a year.
It didn't
on
have
it,
a date. It didn't have a year at the end of the trailer, but maybe
The
they
trailer doesn't
confirmed
have it. They may have announced it later, but the trailer didn't.
Pretty sure it said 25.
Oh no, Perfect
I
Dark.
remember.
I don't think Perfect
No,
Dark.
I'm talking about Fable because I remember Ryan
Fable
McCaffrey
didn't
and those
have-
guys.
Fable didn't have a.
One of them didn't. Either Perfect Dark or Fable didn't have a year on it.
No, there's a couple games.
No,
there. State of
Fable was
Decay-
definitely next year.
Yeah.
They didn't.
Yeah, it was definitely next year.
Oh no.
Yes. Because I remember Ryan McCaffrey and the guys were debating what part of 25 you think is going to be, and Ryan McCaffrey said, "Well, it's definitely going to be a fall."
Fable.
Yeah,
In the trailer.
yeah.
I would like to. I mean, I would have liked
It's
to
in
see
the
a
trailer.
little
I
more.
remember being in the
I'm
trailer.
going through the trailer now to look.
I thought, like
I
I
wanna
said,
already
I
just
was
watch
feeling
it.
it. I was like, I'm interested. I like this is funny.
There we go.
But they showed just a couple little snippets of like.
It's the kind of gameplay where you're like, is it gameplay you're showing me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that's the funny thing is because Playground Games is like, wow, you guys all thought it was CGI. That's wonderful. You thought it wasn't like
No,
actual
like it
gameplay,
looks
'cause
like the
they're-
kind of gameplay, but the kind of scripted gameplay where you're like, is it the gameplay or
it's
is it
Fable.
like
I don't think it's going to be
made
scripted
game?
So
gameplay.
yeah, it does say
Well,
2025.
when she grabbed her sword and flipped it
It's
upside
still
down and hit him with the handle, I'd be curious if that was like. Something
It does say 2025 in the trailer. When it got,
But I have no idea what kind of game it's going to be, honestly. So, is it going to be like
Fable.
like The Witcher, where it's like the combat's not?
It's going to be like Fable.
Yeah, but I mean, the trailer doesn't look like Fable with all its intricacies. That's why, as of now, it looks more like an adventure
What
game.
intricacies?
But it's gonna have all the details. And
Are you
stuff.
gonna like turn evil and stuff, or is
The
that
stuff
all
that
gone?
Peter Molyneux said that didn't actually happen, intricacies, or
Didn't your-
the actual Fable
the
games.
character actually grew horns and stuff,
They're
though, right?
just action RPGs. They're action RPGs. You know,
But
open world ish.
It's a new team. It's Playground's kind of their first foray in anything other than Forza. I think just the Horizon series. I think they help on the.
They're not
main
going to
one.
make a scripted like linear.
So
It's
I
going to
just
be
want,
an action RPG the way the
I just
original ones
wanted,
were.
like, because I think the Witcher 3 combat system is kind of a turnoff for me. Like, I like the
hate
idea of the
Witcher
game
combat.
and stuff, but so that's all I need to know. Like, is it going to be fun to like encounter enemies and all that?
The combat system is fine. It's just the controls are jank.
Yeah,
That's the problem with Witcher.
and it's kind of got that stiff dodge roll,
It's stiff.
kind of.
Yeah.
Not a lot of animation to it. So I think that trailer had me like showed some promise for Fable. So we'll see.
All right,
see when it
I lost
comes
my
out.
thing here. I'll bring it back up. There's a lot of damn games, guys. Flintlock The Siege of Dawn.
That's the worst title. Sorry.
I gotta get my peepers. The Siege of Dawn. That's terrible.
That's a long, terrible title. I thought it looked intriguing. I did get some Forspoken vibes from it, so we'll see when it gets closer to release, if that's true.
Yeah, that game. Totally. That was pretty cool. Actually,
it had some cool moments.
That was cool.
Then I was like, yeah, I thought I was all in with Forspoken too of some of the trailers. So, not saying it's going to be the same, but I'm a little weary when I
Let's
saw
hope not. Let's hope not.
Flight Simulator 2024, is that coming out this year or is it in the trailer? I don't know. Terrell, tell me.
No.
I mean, I had my little flirt with,
with
the 2020.
That looks fucking great.
It looks great. I mean,
just saying, visually, it looks fucking stunning. But it's.
I don't know. They needed a new one already, but hey, it's coming out.
I think it just. I don't know if it's gonna even be a new one. It's probably just kind of
They brought on like a yearly franchise in the past.
No, well, they
I think it wasn't yearly.
No. It went from like
in the 90s. In the 90s, it was not yearly, but
like past.
Yeah. But 2020, when there had been a long gap, and so it was kind of new and fresh. So we'll see. But that was.
I think they're just gonna renew it every couple of years, or maybe even.
That was like
year.
To have like all the planes. That was like $120 game if you wanted to have all the jets and stuff at launch. Like they.
Yeah.
I don't really agree with that pricing model, but whatever.
Speaking of pricing model, that was a nice segue. How about Shattered Space for Starfield? Oh my God, that looks. You guys won't get it, but my God, not for Shattered Space itself. That's fine. It's the they're finally bringing the help me out here, Retro. What is it called? The creator. What is it called? When the creator tools, it's called something. I can't think of it. Creation Kit. It's called Creation Kit. So they're finally bringing that to console. Maybe it's on everything. Maybe it wasn't. I thought it was already on PC, but maybe not.
No,
the Creators Kit stuff, which is just it's gonna blow Starfield into a whole nother stratosphere. Yeah. But yeah, the Shattered Space is a separate DLC, which. If you play the game, it looks amazing. That whole faction.
It kind of made me feel
the
like
Varun.
Without having played it, it kind of felt almost like I don't know. Maybe the rest of the game has a lot of that stuff. It felt like it was like a high fantasy stuff that I haven't seen from any of the regular Starfield footage I've seen.
Well, no, they add some. I don't want to call it fantasy because it is based in science. But there is some more fantastical things that happen in the base Starfield game.
Okay.
And it's just kind of expanding on that. But it like we gave us the 60 frames per second patch or whatever we can get. The game is like a whole new game. Like people talk that stuff about 60 FPS versus 30 FPS, but it's a huge difference. The game it makes the game look better.
I think so.
Obviously it's
because it looks smoother. It just looks
more. I hate when people argue with it. I can't tell the difference. You have an eye problem. Something is wrong when you can't tell 60 and 30.
Just turning the camera looks so much smoother at 60.
Right.
I don't give a shit.
Like your character's movement and everything.
I would take the lower resolution, lower detail at 60. It looks better moving because even like Digital Foundry, those guys, I can't I don't watch them like I used to, but when Forbidden West came out, like, the 30 FPS mode, by far the best way to play. The motion blur really smooths everything out. So I was like, all right, I'll try it. I couldn't. I lasted like 10 seconds. I'm like, no, this is crap. Like moving the cameras, it's like jittery and stuff. I'm like, no way. With this combat, with the aiming, with the gyro aiming, so yeah, 60.
But yeah, I mean, if you you probably have to be in.
You're probably excited for that as I am for the Shadows of the Erd Tree for Elden Ring.
I'm so excited for it. Because they gave us a patch that already fixed a lot of issues that were definitely annoying, like the maps and all that stuff. Obviously 60 frames. Just little things, a bunch of details that were just off. and made the game way better. They didn't say anything about vehicles in this recent thing, and that kind of worried me a little bit. But with Creation Kit, people can just make their own quest, you know, and
People are
make their
still
own
using the
gear
Creation Kit
and
for,
make
like,
their own for Skyrim.
Yeah, people are still people are fucking remaking Morrowind and Skyrim still with the tools
Right.
from Bethesda themselves. It's amazing, that shit.
Right. One of the because they showed like, I don't know if this was this part of the presentation where they showed like creators that were like, they're not just random. They have a certain group that are basically like they somewhat semi-funded creators.
Yeah, they showed
And
something
one
like
guy
that.
was talking about one guy was talking about taking a planet, just one planet, basically building it out, and it's almost like an entire game on one planet. And I'm like,
Coruscant.
bruh.
Build
Bro,
Coruscant.
like build Coruscant or something, and just building a bunch of quest logs on there, bounty hunts and all. Man, this game is already so stupidly huge. I'm gonna be playing this game for like 10 years. I already said that. At least 10 years. Be playing this game.
That's what the Bethesda
So I'm super
So at the
excited.
end of the
Don't
year,
let
it's
go.
gonna
It's
be
Bethesda.
Starfield expansion for T's game of the year. It's gonna be the Shadows of the Erd Tree for my game. Of the
Yeah,
year.
I already, you know what's funny? I said that to myself. I was like, I wonder if the guys will let me say Starfield's game of the year again.
I'm
For
gonna count
2024.
Shadows of the Erd Tree. It's like a
Uh,
50 to 60 hour
I was just kidding though, but
campaign, like new story. But
yeah, we gotta get to the game. My game of show, not everybody. My game of show. People were surprised it was there, and I was like, "This is definitely got
I
to be
knew it
there."
was as soon as they
Perfect
jumped out of the
fucking
plane.
dark. Perfect dark, yeah, like right away. It's like perfect dark. That's definitely perfect dark because I remember their reveal trailer, and it had that kind of that foggy stuff going on over Egypt or something. I was like, "Oh, that's perfect dark." That right. And game of show for me. Game of show for me. There's a little nostalgia, obviously. Being a huge Perfect Dark fan, I'm super excited for it. The comp looked amazing. You're like putting parkour in with like obviously everybody said they referenced Mirror's Edge as like a one of the influences or whatever. I thought that shit looked dope as hell.
Yeah, I
Sliding
think
around,
it's
kicking bitches, shooting bitches at the same time. That shit looked amazing.
yeah.
And the gadgets. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead, bro. Talk about it.
I was just gonna say, yeah, I agree. It looked really dope. I think I've heard a couple people be like, "Well, it's not doing anything new." And like, the new thing is that it's here. Okay, like, just be grateful that we finally get the game and finally get to see the
I haven't
gameplay.
played a game where you can do all that. I mean, see those different things separately have been done in games. I haven't seen any games that added those gameplay elements together in combat. So, and it don't have to be anything new. It's Perfect Dark back, bitch. That's good enough for me. And
That's
it's
what
a
I'm
new
saying.
game.
Like, let's
Not a
start
remake
off
or
there.
a remaster.
Yeah, let's start there.
I heard somebody actually complaining saying, "Oh, Microsoft, they own Rare, but they're not having Rare make this game, and it's just weird." And I'm like, "Bitch, you know Rare is not Rare anymore. Like it's not the
Those
same
people
Rare."
went to
They
Crytek.
left during Perfect Dark. Most of the people who made Rare what it is left during Perfect Dark. The fact that Perfect Dark N64 came out was a blessing because Free Radical Design basically they went on to do the what's the series Future
Time
what's it called?
Splitters.
Time Splitters. They went on to do the Time Splitters games. So those guys that left during the making. I'm like, I thought that was what kind of just be happy, motherfucker. Happy with running a Perfect Dark, and it looks cool as shit. Like
These guys
why are you
just told
complaining
me that
about
it doesn't play like Perfect Dark Zero. Ooh.
Yeah, right. That's no Perfect Zero.
I don't have
bring
the
that
same love for Perfect Dark. I never beat the final boss because I couldn't figure out how to beat him.
He's tough.
That was
Skedar?
like the damn talk about frame rate. That was some.
Oh, the frame
was
rates took a that bitch dropped.
That was one of my bigger gaming regrets because I bought that and the RAM expansion at the same time. I feel like it was almost $100 maybe. I don't know if the RAM expansion might
The
have been
game?
30. I think the RAM
No,
expansion was
it was.
30. The game was 60 or 70.
Oh, you didn't have the RAM expansion already, so
No,
you had to
yeah.
buy it.
So I bought that.
Okay.
I already had the Dreamcast. I was loving
You didn't
it,
have Donkey Kong 64?
and I was like, you know what, GoldenEye. Maybe we'll get my buddies together. Maybe we can bring back the GoldenEye stuff. And I bought the game, and never once played it. I played against me and my one buddy one time. Put on some bots and played, and I just don't have fond memories of it, to be honest. Then I tried it on the Rare Replay, and
Man.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't play it, but.
Well, we already know you use your N64 wrong. Poor N64.
The thing that doesn't, for me, I could have probably got used to it, was the whole aiming. You just move the cursor around the screen. Aiming. I don't know if there's a way to modernize it. I didn't try it. I was playing on the Xbox One, and when you like pull in, like you aim your sights and you just move the cursor and the screen doesn't move, type of thing. It's very old school.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah.
What were you doing?
No, that's how GoldenEye did the same thing.
In the it
No.
was like a scope where you zoomed in. It was like your aiming reticle.
Yeah,
was just
you
moving
hold
around.
the trigger button. It kind of freezes the screen. You
Yeah.
move the.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
yeah.
little janky. It felt a little janky to me, but anyway, I didn't have I played through it once, got to the boss, and barely touched it after that.
I love Perfect Dark. It's really good.
It's unfortunate.
Without having much,
That music, I love the music too.
I kind of
Nobody
felt
really
like
talked
the I don't know. I'm not one, like I said, I don't have this like nostalgia. I didn't think the environment.
Yeah, I definitely have nostalgia for
I
it.
didn't think the environment that the trailer was in felt like fit Perfect Dark at all, based on my memory of the game. But like I said, I have very limited, so I didn't really feel the vibes.
Because OG is kind of more futuristic. You're in the dark and everything in this building. This is a more open setting for it. Like it's taking into account that you're infiltrating yourself and everything. You know, it's expanding it.
It didn't look much different. Like I'm thinking of that one mission where you go to that plaza or whatever. Not plaza, but it's like a building and it's like a pier, and you gotta save a character who's on the boardwalk or whatever. You gotta pop him before you go into the building. It felt very much like that level. I can't remember the freaking name of it right now.
It was very
because
futuristic.
it's a brighter. Yeah.
Everything looked like really. That's the thing. It didn't really look like. Maybe it was because of the part of the world it's in hasn't evolved to the super futuristic, or it takes place slightly different time.
No, but I'm saying that world that I'm talking about specifically in Perfect Dark 64 had like almost like a beach resort kind of feel to it.
Yeah, you're talking about the Carrington house.
Was it? Oh, Carrington House. That's what it was. Yeah, and I'm like, it's not very much off from that. I didn't feel like, obviously it's more up to date as far as the graphics and stuff go, but I just wanted cool futuristic stuff. I wanted my obviously you can tell there's going to be some gadgets in there. I wanted that. I wanted Glow in the Dark to sound the way I want her to sound. She sounded great. I don't know who the voice actor is for her. I just wanted to get away from Perfect Dark Zero. And visually, she looks like a mix between the N64 Glow in the Dark and the Perfect Dark Zero Glow in the Dark, which, you know, whatever. She doesn't have the black hair. That's fine, I guess. I can live with that.
You gotta overlook it.
You're right. And if you look at Perfect Dark Zero, I think she was going to go into that. So that was like a origin story before she was a perfect agent, and that's what this kind of is. This is before she's Perfect Dark, even though they're calling it Perfect Dark.
I guess maybe the last little game shot was honestly the only thing I was intrigued by. Looks like they discover some alien or something. The last few frames.
You gotta have aliens if you're gonna be Perfect Dark.
What was his name in the other one? Roger? Was it Roger?
Oh, no, it was Elvis.
Elvis, that's right.
Yeah, the great alien Elvis that helps you and stuff. I love that fucking game, man. That's one of my favorite.
Crazy
games.
is you have like a million first-person shooters now, and somehow when you see in the new Perfect Dark trailer, you see the shooting. It's like, it's Perfect Dark shooting. It's like exactly like N64. It just feels like that. It's crazy.
And I gotta have my laptop gun. I gotta get my
Oh, the
you
laptop
gotta
gun.
give me my laptop gun. I'm sure they're gonna do it. So I'm excited for the game.
And
it's
that
gonna
one
be
didn't
cool.
have a year at the end. I think no debate in that one.
I don't think it did.
Yeah, yeah. Perfect Dark is the one that didn't have.
Because
a year
they had
on
to
it.
get they
Yeah.
brought Crystal Dynamics in to help. I forget how long ago that was.
That game could be 2 years away, and it probably is. But I'm guessing.
I remember. Was it 22 or 23? Oh,
Xbox is launching a new console in 26.
a certain former compadre who turned Xbox guy. He said Perfect Dark was near complete, fully playable. Phil Spencer said it was fully playable. And it was like 2022 or something, 2023 holiday. He said it was coming out.
Let's not talk about that.
But I mean, like I said, I'm not like this diehard fan. I don't want to pretend to be, but that trailer didn't move the needle for me at this point. Not saying it can't in the future, but yeah, it wasn't
playable one day on Game Pass.
That's why I coined that a couple years ago. What else was there?
All right, let me see. Well, obviously they closed the show with a big reveal.
There's more in between though.
I'm trying to see if there's more. Yeah, well, there is Diablo 4. That's
That
expansion, right?
That was a long one.
Man, you got to play some games, okay? Talk about it went on too long. For a lot of people that play Diablo and like it,
I know they know what the game is for people who played the game, but it's like, come
on. Let's see. Assassin's Creed Shadows, we went over that. Mixtape looked cool. I don't know. I think Mixtape might have been playing to my nostalgia a little bit. I did like the art style of it. You remember that indie looking game with
one with the mouse.
had the 80s music and shit? And they were skateboarding at one point.
Yeah, I think Terrell thought that was Life is Strange.
Yeah.
And then they showed Life is Strange. Like,
and then they showed Life is Strange. Yeah, exactly.
Because the art style seems kind of similar.
Yeah, it did. It did seem similar at certain times. But
they showed Assassin's Creed Shadows.
I like the music they were playing. They got a lot of licensed music in there, which always worries me. Especially if the game's digital only. That worries me. Because they could just say, "Oh, your license is up, taking that game away, snatch." But I did like the music. I don't know if I like the game because of the music, but that's probably part of it. What's this shit? Frag Punk?
Oh, it was like a really quick
was like
trailer.
A 5v5.
You rip a card and it creates you get like an ability off of it. Yeah.
It was
yes.
To the other.
Yes.
It literally is like a minute, if that, and then it's
it was short.
gone.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep. We said Life is Strange, no one cares. Oh, this one was strange to me. Speaking of strange, Metal Gear Solid.
Oh yeah.
What do they call it? Delta?
Yeah.
Snake Eater, basically. How the hell did Microsoft secure this reveal? It was a fucking amazing reveal. I don't even care about Metal Gear games, but that looked fucking great. How did they secure that? And Sony just had a goddamn state of play, and this game's not in that.
I mean,
that's odd to me.
That was a little weird.
They revealed it.
It's odd.
Last year in Sony's thing.
Yeah, they revealed it, but they didn't reveal it. This was the real reveal.
I can't get excited for Metal Gear. I can't get excited for it, but yeah, I mean it.
I'm just saying how it looked. I don't care, but I'm just saying it looked great. It was a big actual reveal of the game, and Sony didn't get it. That surprised the shit out of me.
I love how he said like no presents at all, and he's like just murdering people with a big old machine gun. And like, oh, I thought that meant like all traces of your presence would have to be erased. Like every person you kill, you'd have to like hide them and stuff. But you said your son beat that on 3DS. I wonder what he thought.
Yeah,
of this.
He didn't. I don't think he's seen it. I'm gonna show it to him, see what he thinks. He was like 8 years old. He's beating more Metal Gear games than me. It's some sad shit.
I wonder how that, like, if the camera angles are gonna be different than, I don't know what the original was like. So, was it more the top-down style? Like,
no, it's the
original.
How do you explain the Metal Gear Solid visual or camera as far as
I know when I replayed Twin Snakes
Metal Gear Solid 2?
I was like, I couldn't see any. You can't see anybody off screen to shoot, but this looked like you could at least see.
Well, Twin Snakes is a remake of the original, which
Mhm.
is
Yeah. With
different.
the
It's a
mechanics
different
of two,
camera
basically.
But I don't know
with
how
the
threes
mechanics of
worked.
2, right?
I don't know how 3 worked. Where can you like?
It was very similar to 2 as far as the camera, from what I remember. So, I just thought that was wow. That was odd to me.
They had this.
Indiana Jones, bruh. Put some respect on that game. I'm looking at this game and I'm like, why wasn't this the fucking movie that we just got? Like, it felt that's the biggest thing about the Indiana Jones games, and not many of them do it. Maybe a couple here and there. They actually feel like Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones has a certain feel. And this little story trailer totally made me feel
Shout out to
like I was
Troy
watching
Baker,
Indiana
too.
Jones.
Troy Baker.
And Troy Baker is
just like
freaking sounds just like him. It's amazing. That story trailer was pretty cool. I thought.
I'm gonna say I'm skeptical of the gameplay though. Like that's twice now where they showed significant story stuff and then like a montage, a couple little first.
Did you see anything you liked in this?
About 3 games, but yeah, I mean, I'm a gameplay guy. I mean, good to see that you got the feel of Indiana Jones, but
that's a big part of it.
That's twice now where they just montage a few little first person moments where you're actually possibly playing the game. So I'm a little suspicious at this point. I feel like it's gonna be. It should have been a movie kind of at this point.
That's what it feels like watching that.
But who knows? Maybe the game comes out and the gameplay is amazing, but they're just not showing it. So I'm like, what can I get? What can I go off of? Except like 3 little clips of what look like when you're actually controlling the characters. So.
Whip action was hilarious. I don't know why it just cracked me up. I hear
What
Ronnie the whip action when he's
I like that they have the punching sound.
He's like fast paced. Watch out!
Yeah, they got the LucasArts sound effects, which is great. So,
hey, I mean, I'm not the biggest Indiana Jones fan. I like the second one the most, Temple of Doom. So I was like,
Temple of Doom is my favorite too. It's the black sheep for some reason. I don't know why, but
it's a little annoying at times watching it as an adult. Some of the I forget her name, of her whining and stuff, and overall,
you're talking about Steven Spielberg's wife.
Yeah. I'm not like. I've only seen the third movie one time.
That's how those movies were. It felt very much like a 30s serial.
I feel like they captured. I'm gonna agree with you. They captured the Indiana Jones feel in the cinematics they've shown. So that part of it, I'm not worried about. Just curious why they're not showing the gameplay or, what it's actually gonna be like playing the game. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think we'll get that. I mean, eventually, but not eventually. Before, because the game, it didn't have a date. It still says 2024, right? So. I think we'll probably get a deeper dive with the gameplay.
Like, I mean, it'd be cool if there's some like clever puzzles to solve, like the old Tomb Raiders and stuff, where you actually have to think about it. Not like the Uncharted puzzles where you.
I was gonna say, will it be Uncharted puzzles?
Where you just move stuff around.
Which I love Uncharted. So that's why I'm not that worried, because it's like Uncharted it's not that deep, but it gets the cinematic, fun action movie stuff down, and that's what keeps me in playing Uncharted games, and the shooting mechanics to some degree.
It improved quite a bit with 4. But they had a couple really clever puzzles in 4. Then you have the ones that it's just like you move stuff around, you're gonna solve it without even having to think. Like Stellar Blade has a couple of those where it's like, why even have this in here? I've just moved the stuff around until it goes ching and it lets me know it worked. Like
for me, it's like
things in Hogwarts where you have to do the 3 things, man. It's fucking pissed me off. Where you have to match 2 symbols to open those secret doors. Man, those things fucking piss me off. Like, I know there's a logic behind it. I'm not gonna fucking calculate that shit. So I'm just trying all the combinations of the symbols.
It's just each one.
I care about that stuff. Like, I care about overly intricate gameplay in certain types of games. For me, I mean, this is a game based on a movie that has other games based on it. That Tomb Raider and Uncharted. And for me, you have to get. For this, the most important thing for me for a game like this is you got to get the feel right, and I think they nailed the feel of it. I'm not overly worried about the gameplay because, again, um, uh, overly worried about like intricate gameplay, I should say. Obviously, I want the gameplay to be good, but like,
Yeah, I mean, like I'm just worried about a little bit about is the hand to hand just gonna be, simple, just mash buttons and you win, or gonna be some strategy stuff like that. Like it's gonna look cool. I'm not worried about it. Like it looks and sounds great.
Well, it's only going to look cool when you're playing it if that stuff is actually cool.
Mm-hmm.
It can't just be cheapy little
it's
things.
Like the Uncharted 4 final boss that was lame as shit. Like
that it didn't kill the game for me, but it's like you that cool build up to you're gonna give me this fucking point or not point and click. What is that shit called? Quick
like
time event fight. Rock'em Sock'em quick time event fight. Come on. That was a total letdown against a villain who wasn't that compelling to begin with. Yeah, I don't even remember his name. I barely remember what he looked like. But I really like Uncharted 4.
Just looking at the release window, I mean, it's almost got to be December, or it'd have to be earlier.
It's probably going to be. I think somebody said the rumor is going to be December, which that's fine.
So no Game of the Year nomination if it's after November.
That's going to go to Call of Duty. Very well could. Call of Duty might be very good this year. Who knows?
I think
we'll see.
Shadows of the Erd Tree is going to be Game of the Year, the Elden Ring expansion. They've done it before with expansions.
Oh yeah, it's not like they haven't done it before. They could totally do it. Right now, there's no out and about, shoe-in for Game of the Year at this point. So it's very possible.
The Star Wars Outlaws looked like it was a one-button physical combat thing. And
has anybody shown that off so far for this Summer Games?
Yeah,
Ubisoft
the thing they did.
10 minutes.
Ubisoft, yeah.
But it was like
I didn't watch Ubisoft yet.
It was like 20 minutes.
Characters walk in. They cut to something else. Characters on a speed bike. They cut to someone else. All of a sudden, the character's fighting somebody. Then she's picking a lot. It was just weird. They cut it all weird. And I'm like, what are you actually doing here? And
it looks good though.
It showed her get up. Yeah, visually it looks amazing.
Yeah.
She got she threw her droid, and then she just pressed triangle, and then you watched her take this guy out. And it's it might be a stealth kill, but I was like,
is she also ugly? Because
I think
heard complaints.
Ugly. I think she's pretty ugly, but
it's very important when all you see in her is her ass and her back.
They got the important part right, in my opinion.
For most of the game, you see her ass and her back.
Right at the T goes her ass.
She looks like honestly, I think her outfit and her body shape looks just like the girl from Rogue One. Forget her name, Jyn Erso.
Jyn Erso, yeah.
Looks almost the same.
Why do you just make the game with her? Because Jyn Erso didn't do shit in the movie. So give her some extra lore.
It's Ubisoft. I mean, I because Star Wars was in EA's hands for so long, I would hope they can pull it off. Space.
Well, you liked Avatar, right?
I liked Avatar. So, but I'm not a big first
person
guy either, and somehow they drew me in with that.
Oh yeah, Avatar's first person.
Just running through the forest and stuff was fun, and taking out the bases was fun. So
yeah,
that's a Ubisoft thing. I mean, that was the best part of Far Cry 3 was taking out the bases in different ways. So
are they calling her a female Han Solo? Because
she looks like
I haven't heard.
Because I haven't heard that at all. But I mean, that just doesn't work anyway. So well, you can't make a female Han Solo
unless they call her a scoundrel. Then
well, I mean, they tried to make again Jyn Erso. They tried to give her darker elements, but it never worked. They didn't give her enough backstory. You didn't see enough stuff on screen.
Terrell didn't have the volume up, so I couldn't hear if they had actual dialogue happening or if it was music playing during that 10 minutes they showed the game. So I don't know what kind of personality they gave her.
Yeah. Again, I've seen Ubisoft, so I don't really. That turns me off right away. At this point,
honestly, though, Assassin's Creed Shadows when that drops to 30 after a couple weeks, based on what I've seen, I'm thinking about picking it up. So,
no, I want to play it. It's just
You know, after
Again.
the Avatar took 2 weeks. to hit
Ubisoft
30.
bullshit you got to deal with.
What else did they have that dropped real quick? I'm sure Prince of Persia, which everybody who played Prince of Persia said it was great.
The side-scrolling one,
That's great.
the new one. What was it called? Prince of Persia. What? Yeah, I wanted to buy that game. I looked at it for a good solid 5 minutes, but I saw Ubisoft.
I
and I'm
don't like the
I-
art style, but it's still the gameplay looks really good.
Yeah.
And it's got another Killmonger. That's another thing. What
Haircut,
game has another
the
Killmonger
Killmonger
guy?
haircut.
Oh, it was the show. It was the Acolytes. They got the Killmonger haircut and the Acolytes. Like,
What a dud character too. He's just.
and then another game.
bland.
What game was that? I was making fun of that, Terrell, and I was like, "Is this?" Oh,
What did you say?
during your stream, I said, "What?" I said, "I didn't know Killmonger was in this or something."
That was Prince of Persia.
Oh yeah, that was.
You think everybody got dreads as Killmonger? Is that what you're trying to say?
No,
I'm
the
just saying
problem is
that
that
style.
that
The
hairstyle
shaved
only
head.
exists for
Is that what you're
Killmonger.
saying?
The hairstyle only exists for Killmonger.
You gotta
Like, I
have
don't
the
know.
dreads
You
coming
gotta
down
have the
over
little
your
bit of
forehead and the shaved
just a little bit of
sides.
dread just hanging up like this, flying
No.
over your head like that.
No, see, no, it's different. Yours is a full head
You gotta
of
have the
dreads.
dread fade, is what
No,
you're
you have that
saying.
half dread fucking.
It's the front
comb over
dreads
shit.
that people seem
It's
to be
played
gravitating
out.
towards. What was I just gonna look up? Forget. I was gonna look at Outlaws just to see. Gears of War.
I mean,
wish
it's just
this was like,
it was just
I
a,
wish
it's
it
just
was
a
like
CGI
Killmonger,
cutscene.
but he's nothing like him. I wish that would make the goddamn show more interesting. If he was more like he's boring as shit. He's corny as hell. It's CW Star Wars. I'm telling you, that's what it is. And
I believe you.
that's trash.
Ooh, there's previews of people who played Star Wars Outlaws.
And the lead girl, she's cool.
Why does her twin and her that have been
She's very
separated?
CW too.
They've
All
been
the actors are very
separated for
CW.
20 years, and they have the speaking of haircuts, they have the exact haircut just because they're trying to fool the audience into who's who.
It's confusing because I'm like, how does she not know she's alive? She's been talking to like her young self. I thought they had some kind of connection in the Force or something. The way she was leading her to different things. I'm like, that's only in her head. The twin has
Why
no.
do they have the same
Like, what the
hairdo
fuck?
after?
Oh yeah, and the
20
hairstyle. No, the other girl's hair is longer dreads. For whatever reason, they have the same. Yeah, because I mean they're twins. Of course they're gonna have the same hairstyle.
Yeah,
They think alike.
Yeah, it's just little things like that. It's like it's just feels.
That's not a little thing to me. It's like
It's
why?
not, but yeah, if they're doing it because they think that
You
they're
could have
fooling
did
the
100
audience.
things
They're trying to fool
to
the
trick
audience.
the audience.
And
Put her in
no
a
one's
fucking
gonna-
hood.
Sorry.
Put a wrap around her head and put her in a hood, and we know you can tell her face.
Because it
Like, it's
takes too
stupid.
much planning to have like film all the shots with one hairstyle, then have her get her haircut or whatever, and film all the others.
You could have just wrapped her hair. We could have never even seen what her fucking head looks like, or put her in a goddamn wig when you want to reveal her head. There's 1,000 things you could have done, but it's like they didn't do it. It's cheap and lazy as hell.
Back
So
to the-
annoying, bro. Sorry, we keep getting sidetracked, bro. Dumbass
Do you
Disney
think
decisions.
do you think this new Gears is gonna be like the same formula? You know, it's kind of a prequel
It's supposed to
thing
be a prequel, I thought.
where you have the horde come out of the ground, you take them out, and then hear the sound, know that you beat them all, or you think they're gonna mix it up a little bit? I know the last game they had a little bit with the exploration and the more open areas, but I don't know. For me, I liked Gears 1 and 2 a lot. Like they were two of the better games on the 360. But by 3, I kind of was like, yeah, it's wearing a little thin. And then I got into 5 a little
right?
bit.
No, Lenny. They think hairstyles they're not used to are cool. So anytime you see a black person with a hairstyle, and, oh my man, what is that? That's a cool look. And like they did fucking Travis Kelce, he was running around. He had a fucking regular. He had a number 1 fade, a number 2 fade on his head, and they act like, oh, this is a new thing. No, bitch, he just have a black person's haircut. It's not new. And he was getting upset because like, man, because they were trying to call his haircut the Travis Kelce, which was pissing everybody off. And Travis Kelce like, please don't say that because y'all gonna get me in so much shit. Like calling this my haircut. It's
I
like
don't know who
Coach
had
Ula-
it. but now it's popping up. Like all these games are coming out, and it's like you think these developers are like, oh shit, do they not pay attention to anybody?
They don't know anything outside of their own little bubble of a world. And when they see this, oh, that's cool, that's different. To you, it is. Motherfucker. We've been doing this shit for 60 years. Like what? It's stupid. It's lazy, and that's what's wrong with creativity today. There's too much laziness and people not getting outside themselves.
Man, this Outlaws gameplay is a lot of slow walking.
Yep. Yeah, it is. I saw it. But it looks really good while you're walking.
Yeah. I mean, they got that engine is amazing. I forget what it's called.
Yeah, it's a great engine.
Mm-hmm. They made the Avatar game. I don't know how they got this even coming out.
I mean, they had me when they showed me when on a speeder bike, and I'm like, oh, fuck. And I'm like, all right.
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Is this going to be a cool, like, is this going to be like a linear little sequence, or am I actually going to be able to run around in that thing the way I want to? Probably going to be a linear fucking sequence. Which I guess that's fine too. I mean, most Star Wars games do that.
Do you think they got the Starlink people working on the space battles?
Wait, there's space battles in the game?
Yeah.
Yeah. The footage shows it. It's like the first thing. One of the first things they show.
I have not watched.
Well, you got something to do after the
ship
podcast,
don't you? Uninspired. Her ship
you got something to do,
it's pretty
man.
basic. It's a freaking rectangle with a couple we call it engines on the back.
That one comes out in August, if I remember correctly.
I mean, how did the same team have Avatar and this game within a year? Like, how did the hell?
Respect the effort. Respect the effort.
Then Ubisoft comes out like they put on some great presentation. They're showing Riders Republic updates, the crew updates.
It's weird.
And
it's the most gameplay
I've some amazing show.
It's the most gameplay I think I've seen in a Ubisoft presentation.
Well, they
but
only
it's
showed
also
2 games.
Well, I was saying it's also a game. It's also like I don't think there was barely anything new here. It was like more footage for Star Wars, more footage for Assassin's Creed. You got random updates for like the crew and fucking
Riders Republic. I thought that game was dead.
Ubisoft lost.
Dead in the water.
They showed the Skull and Bones season 2 out now. I'm like,
yeah. And I'm just
I didn't know there was a season 1.
I'd say
I wasn't sure the game it came out because I was like, is this out already?
That bitch was out. It's a quadruple A game, so
Sandstorm has it.
It's a quadruple A game.
Some of the shots, some of the ship.
Is that what we call them like F tier now? Is that what we call that?
I could have sworn somebody at Ubisoft said that or something.
They did. They said it's the quadruple A game.
I don't know why they would put themselves in that position.
They got quadruple ass. That's what it is.
In batteries, a quadruple A is like really tiny. It's really small. So not that the game's small, but the things you could do seem way scaled back from what people were maybe.
Yeah, the Ubisoft just didn't have, to me, the fact that you didn't even show Just Dance, which granted I'm happy because I didn't need to see another dancing thing, but I'm also like, damn, y'all ain't got nothing going on.
I thought the Wii Just Dance probably is.
No, think about it. That means there's no Just Dance for this year. At least I just realized that. Which is
no. Oh no.
Fuck you, T.
No Just Dance this year? Goddamn, Ubisoft is done. They're lost. They're lost. I don't know what they're doing. Obviously, they've gone back to relying on like an Assassin's Creed and whatever little.
The Prince of Persia got a bunch of. They got a 35th anniversary. They got a free update for the Lost Crown, and then they showed they teased the Sands of Time remake for 2026. Like that was like really. I thought I kind of lauged out loud though when it's
2026. Yeah.
God damn.
That was supposed to be out in like 2019.
Didn't it? It restarted development, right? Because
they restarted.
Yeah, because whoever that studio was that started that game looked like utter
one of
ass.
Those situations where the gamers spoke and they listened.
Yeah, you say that, but there were so many fucking people defending it. You will always find somebody defending some bullshit. Like, what is there to defend about that? I mean, people were defending Shenmue and got pissed off at me. Shenmue 3. Mm-hmm. I'm like, this game is gonna be trash. Like I can tell by looking at this trailer but there were so many people mad in my comment section crying about what I said. Why? How do you always find a group of people that will defend utter garbage? Like it's like their life depends on it. It
That
happens
game
no
got
matter
quiet
what.
real quick, didn't it?
Huh?
I said that game got quiet
Yeah,
real quick.
it came out, and I didn't see none of them motherfuckers. I saw none of those people mad at me talking shit about Shenmue 3. And I'm like, well, I'm a true fan of the series. I really love Shenmue 1 and 2. And this looks like ass. I know what it's going to take to make a Shenmue 3 game in this
The way it
era.
should
And they
be.
didn't make enough money. Right. And they didn't have enough money for that. And I'm like, this is going to be trash. And you can look at the trailer where they had no motion in their faces and shit. They look like dolls running around. And I'm like, this is going to be bad. And I got so much shit from people in that
How
comment
much money
section.
do you think Ubisoft wasted on Beyond Good and Evil 2? They got pretty far. They showed this infinite space, this huge universe. They had
I
to
would
have
say as much, probably more, if not more, as much as they wasted on Skull and Bones.
Yeah.
At least Skull and Bones came out though.
That just actually came out though, so there's that.
There's at least some sort of return.
Because what they showed was like, you would need like the PS6 and the next Xbox probably to do what they were promising and showing.
Here's the problem. Fucking, that's not what, Beyond Good and Evil is even about. Like, why are you doing that? Just make a good, solid sequel to that game.
That's what you wanted, man.
Like, what the fuck? I don't need to be able to transverse different planets and...
You don't?
Like, that first game was not about that. Most of the game... I don't remember. Did we even go to another planet? I don't think so. I don't think we went to other planets. You went to different areas on one planet for the most part. And I'm like...
You didn't like the infinite space we created?
It's like stupid. It's stupid.
It was for you, though. I made this for you.
You can experiment and make some other game with that shit, but make Beyond Good and Evil what we actually liked about Beyond Good and Evil.
That first reveal trailer was some pretty high quality CG and stuff. It's like make an animated movie.
Oh, which one? You don't mean the 2008 one? Because there was one before that.
Showed
okay, because there's one way back in 08 or 09.
Yeah, that had nothing to do with the one that we saw.
Yeah, it just had Paige, the I'll call him a frog, the pig. They had him on the side of a road in the desert or something. It's like, what the fuck is this? What is going on? And they had Jade, like, it's like, this is weird. And that was a reveal trailer for a sequel that shit never panned out. That was 2009 or something like that. What is so hard? Why is it so hard? Fucking get an indie company, pay them, say, hey, go play Beyond Good and Evil, play the shit out of it, or just find a bunch of Beyond Good and Evil fans who are developers and say, make a sequel. Fuck, is it that hard to do? Don't spend $1 bazillion on it. Spend $20 million most, and give it to a small studio and let them fucking make the game.
There was a game I was reading about today that they said the budget was $55 million, and I was surprised it was that much. It was it a Korean game? I forget which one it was. And I was like, man, I wonder how many units you got to sell if a $55 million budget to make money, because I can't remember what game it was.
That was a high budget, and that's what Shenmue cost. So in the late 90s, that was pretty big.
And the Star Wars combat looks trash. My God.
Star Wars
Outlaws.
The
shooting looks. The base shooting looks rough, and then it has the Red Dead Redemption mode where you can just pick all your targets, and then she just shoots them all.
Yeah, but people love Red Dead Redemption. Come on, man.
The second one, not the first.
Oh,
but. And it's got the black bars too. They're doing the black bars. It looks like on
it's kind of jank.
They're doing the scope ratio, so you get black bars. Obviously, it helps with the performance because it's only rendering.
You got to do that for performance. Don't make the guy
75% of the pixels.
It's a cinematic choice. Jeez.
It's one thing. Okay, you're making a cinematic ass walking simulator game. I guess you can get away with it at that point.
I feel like you're still not happy with it though. You'd be like,
I'm still not happy. Just don't do it.
And if you got
just take it out.
If you got a powerful enough PC, just allow somebody to to stretch it, or not stretch it, but just fill the pixels. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I got a 16 by 9 screen now after I had a scope screen. I find myself leaning towards watching only 16 by 9 aspect ratio movies and shows now. Like, it just looks so much better having that extra height, but that's a different discussion.
Will I get a full screen on my super wide?
If you got if you can render it out super wide, it does have super wide support without the bars.
I haven't played it yet. I haven't played it yet.
But that's a lot of pixels to push. You got to. I don't know. I was gonna look to see what my graphics card could do for Hellblade. If anybody had any benchmarks for it.
I'm gonna play the bitch on my Xbox. So.
But anyway, Summer's game, the whole thing. I mean, it's not it's not an E3 replacement, that's for sure. But it's at least something.
I would say the success of the obviously the expectations were low after the State of Play and Summer Gamesfest. So I think a lot of people had low expectations. But regardless of that, I saw this will tell you how good that show actually was. When you had a lot of top ponies, a lot of top PlayStation dudes were like, that was a great show. That was a great show. To the point where they're like, talking about,
Finally.
yeah, because they would never give. And I would say Xbox fans usually give credit to certain Sony games, but I've never seen. It depends. I guess it depends on which Sony fans or which Xbox fans you're talking about. But overall, broad consensus was that was a great show. And then I think Keeley did a survey as well, and it blew his Game Fest scores out of the water.
Asked, like,
why would you do that?
But he didn't put it. Listen, he didn't put an F as an option. So the lowest he got was like
it said D or lower.
I think
people wanted to put lower, but that was the only option he had.
No,
was
he's
D
not gonna let you put an F. He's not gonna let you get away with that. Be like, maybe it just needs a little bit of improvement, and then
I think 80% or so was in B or above for the Xbox show, and I mean it deserves it. I watched it. I liked it a lot when I first watched it. But I watched it again. I was like, this is a really fucking good show. It's probably their best show ever. It's probably their best showing. Oh, we didn't talk about Gears. There's nothing much to show, but it surprised the shit out of me because it's not Gears 6. It's Gears of War. They're bringing it back, the of War, which I like.
Well, it's a prequel, from my understanding.
It's a prequel. It's set 14 years before Gears of War 1. It's E-Day. It's the when the Locust showed up the first day. And I think that is a fantastic idea because I think that's what's missing from core Gears fans. I don't care as much. I mean, I like the Gears of War series, but I think a lot of fans just miss those characters that they started off with. They miss Dom, especially. People were literally crying in the reveal of that trailer, and because they had a lot of, and they played the Mad World music, which is a nice little throwback for all the fans. So, but that's a awesome idea. It's kind of weird because Gears 5 ended on a cliffhanger, and but I think most of the fans are happy to get a mainline prequel for Gears because it'll bring back that original feel and whatnot. So that was cool. It was a good way to end the show. I was hoping it was an Xbox portable. That is coming.
Hey, well, listen, we got those 3 new iterations of the console: the 2 terabyte X Series X, the discless Series X, and then
not a surprise at all because they already.
And I'm guessing the 1 terabyte
it's just white
Series
instead
S.
of black.
During the trial last year.
Yeah,
what is it? The 2 terabyte one is 600, I think. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it is.
I'm like, at least it's better than the PlayStation 5 Spider-Man that was 600 because you get an extra terabyte. But
extra terabyte of storage, which is that's that is almost market. You can probably do a little better. Maybe you can get it for 80
You
for a
can put like a
terabyte.
new Call of Duty on there. Boom, full.
Right.
It's fucking
But yeah,
savage.
it's not like a gouging price or anything, which is good. And they didn't
Mhm.
go with that horrible prototype, like rounded
Mhm.
cylinder Xbox. Thank God, because that's a terrible idea.
I kind of
But I think they did it because they wanted people to know, because there's this whole narrative about, oh, they're done with consoles. They're not done with consoles. So everybody
Why
can come
not?
off that.
I know we've had like serious inflation, which sucks because since those consoles released, the price of memory is like it's less than half of it's almost a third of what it was when those system launched. So it'd be nice. I know these days are gone.
Mhm.
If Sony.
Well, I mean, we still got the same price for the goddamn Switch from
I know
2017.
it.
So
I think to have like the PS5 and if they could bumped up to 2 terabytes at the same price in the old days, that's what would have happened. Those are gone now. I think without the inflation, they probably could have did that, because I mean that fast memory back when those systems launched, a terabyte was like $350 or something like that. Now you can get one for $80, 60 to 80. So I mean, the storage has come way down, but because of inflation,
yeah, storage is down. Yeah,
that's an unfortunate. That sucks. I mean, you had the
and
chip shortage in there. You had, and then inflation's just gone ridiculous.
and they announced that they forgot how they worded it, but they have the most players in their history, Xbox currently.
What does that stat mean? That doesn't make any sense to me.
No, it had something to do with the console, because people were talking about console sales and whatnot. They have the most users on Xbox console that they've ever had in their history. I think there's something like that. But they're trying to recommit, or I don't know, recommit isn't right, but they're trying to commit and let people know, yes, we're still doing hardware. And the rumor, I guess, is 2026 for the next Xbox, and I think that's probably going to happen. And I think Gears E-Day is probably going to be a launch title. That's my guess. So it didn't have a year. It won't be next year. So
I had a little debate with a guy, home theater guy, who was he's hoping the PS5 Pro comes out, so possibly he can go to that from PC. And he's like, why don't consoles just come out with updated hardware every 2 years? I'm like, I was debating.
Then it won't
in the
be
chat.
consoles
I was like,
anymore.
Dude, that is stupid. It's like
there won't be consoles anymore.
They do it for phones. They do it for graphics cards. Well, graphics cards and phones. You don't have companies spending 5 years developing a game specifically for for a couple pieces of hardware. Now you're gonna have 20 different variations by the time their game comes out. You got.
Did you buy your phone completely every time it comes out? Every 2 years?
He's an Apple guy. He buys. Him and his 2 kids get a new iPhone every year.
Do you buy it?
He buys
$1,200.
Well, I don't know what he does, but he's
because I'm on a plan and I pay it off as the plan. If the consoles did that, I mean, yeah, let's do that.
I think that would be death. I'm not paying developers.
I'm not paying that much money every 2 years.
Imagine trying to optimize. You got 6 different Xboxes. You got 3 or 4 different PlayStations.
Yeah, the industry is not built for that. Gaming industry.
And what good is like consumers aren't going to support. He's like, I don't understand why you guys are happy just buying one system and getting 5-6 years of games on it. You don't. That doesn't make sense to you. That's the only way it works.
That's good. You would buy a car every 2 years. Like probably. You want to get as much out of that car as you can. And then you get the next one.
I said the problem isn't the problem is the games. The development costs too high. They take too long to develop for. Now you're asking for more hardware that they're not going to take advantage of.
Yeah, that's another thing. Lenny, right? New consoles aren't selling as fast as previous generations. That's true.
And there's no price break, like I just said. At this point,
50 million people still on PS4.
Was $200 with the slim model after four years. And then they had the Pro out for $4. That was the price of the original PS4. Now on PS5 Pro, if that's real, that thing's gonna be $650.
How much do you think it's gonna cost?
He's like, well, they should just come out with a $1,000 system that's twice as powerful as blah 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 blah, because these systems outperform their price for sure. And if they have $1,000 PS5 or 6, that's going to be so powerful. It's like no one's going to make games for that system because the low end system has to be considered. Yeah, it's going to look and run nicer, but it's not going to be.
And by the way, if you make a console that comes out at $1,000, you're gonna be getting the next console for 10 fucking years plus. So it won't make it won't make any difference really.
It's just somebody who has a lot of extra money to spend mindset,
So buy a PC and spend away. I mean, you don't have to worry about any of this stuff.
Right.
So
build a PC.
Yeah, I think that's about. I guess I will say, like, I didn't think honestly, since Phil Spencer's been in charge, I guess the first couple years, I felt like this was in line with majority of the Xbox E3 press conferences, where it's a lot of games, and they didn't spend a lot of time in between, and I didn't think it was like anything.
No, I don't think the format
high.
Like the amount of games that they showed was insanity.
I mean, they always showed a lot. Remember that one year they touted like 50 games?
But not new impactful games. These are big. Most of these games were pretty big. They were all big games. Yeah. I remember the year where they said the most games in Xbox history is a bunch of fucking old ass
year of Xbox.
Right, like that's bullshit. But this is like new, impactful games coming. Doom, and all this stuff. Like within a reasonable time period. And they got some great stuff still this year coming out. I think this is finally feeling like, oh, all that fucking money we spent, all the goddamn videos are starting to come to fruition.
All them developers we were paying for.
Right. It's finally starting to come to fruition.
I mean, buying Bethesda was a really good decision because they're putting out games consistently.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's the only one who's been putting out games consistently.
Yeah, I mean,
we need to do it.
I don't know what their next, how long before their next Bethesda Studios game is going to be, but there are other companies that they have under their umbrella seem to be putting out pretty.
Well, they're doing Shattered Space and fucking that's like a game. So they're doing some consistent work, and they're going to have obviously Doom next year.
That to me, that was a smart investment for them, obviously. And they're not locking Doom. It's not exclusive. It's PS5.
No, they should, don't do that. That would have been fucking stupid. Because it's a everybody franchise. It's been in that from the beginning. Obviously started on PC because consoles couldn't run that fucking game. Not well anyway. They tried. I had it on Super Nintendo. Trash. But Doom has been for everybody from the beginning, so you don't lock that away.
I feel like there was another game that I was like, that would make sense to make it. I don't know if it was another Bethesda. It's not Indiana Jones. I feel like there was another one. Where I was like,
any Fallouts, any Elder Scrolls games, it should be on everything.
There was another Bethesda game.
There was one where I was like, yeah, I wonder if
I want to say it was right before the end.
I don't remember, but I can understand.
I feel like there was another one because I remember seeing Bethesda Studios or something.
Yeah.
Before it, and I'm like, oh, what's that? And it was something that wasn't announced before, we hadn't seen before. I feel like it was a world premiere.
I feel like there's just a lot of instances where I'm just like, I'm cool with these companies putting their games on other systems at this point. Like, I mean, I just feel like I've changed over time about it, but like if somebody want to put Horizon on Xbox, I'm not gonna cry about it. Like I don't think they will, but
yeah, they won't. And for me, it's like your storied mainline game shouldn't go because you lose identity a little bit. It's like, okay,
yeah, that's true.
It don't feel right to me. I don't. It won't feel right to seeing Halo on PlayStation or anything weird like that. Like that just don't feel.
The multiplayer will, like the free to play.
Yeah, I guess that's fine. Yeah. The multiplayer free to play. Why wouldn't you do that? You make more money, and maybe you entice them. Oh, I want to play the campaign. That was funny because that's what Sony said recently. At least Herman Holst, I think, is that his name? He said it recently. He's like, we want to put our storied franchises on PC and hope for the sequel that PC guys are going to buy PlayStation. That shit ain't happening. That shit is not going to happen. That is a terrible business plan. They don't even want to fucking download what is it called? The PSN. They don't even want to make an account for PSN. You think they're going to go out and buy a fucking PlayStation? No, that is a stupid. I think he's just giving lip service because he doesn't want to piss off the Sony fan base the way the Xbox guys had to piss off the Xbox fan base to get them to pull them out of their trenches and say, "Hey, this is the future." All this console warring stuff, is going to be a thing of the past at one point. Except for Nintendo. Nintendo ain't. Nintendo is not moving. 85% of Nintendo players play on the cartridge. They still play physical media, and that shit ain't going nowhere, bro. Like they're not moving. If they can still get 85% of their players to buy a physical piece of hard or software, that hardware is going to be around for a long time.
Their business model's proven. I mean,
yeah,
they haven't had back-to-back successes though, like really big.
That
successes.
Is true. But if you go from Switch to Switch 2, to me that's a guaranteed. Wii to Wii U, that
I feel like that's a guaranteed success.
But Switch to Switch 2, I think is guaranteed. I think that's a guaranteed success.
Oh shit!
And they had a back-to-back success before. It's just a long time ago. NES to SNES. That was a back-to-back big success. So they can get back to that. And that's what they're doing. The SNES was just a revolution. It was a evolution of the NES, and Switch 2 is going to be an evolution of the Switch, and that's going to be successful for them. So
all right, well,
and because
that's pretty much
the PC handhelds, anyway. Right? The PC handhelds aren't there yet. They're not mainstream enough. I love my Steam Deck, but 10 million.
Windows, or
right.
You gotta have Windows going in the background.
Yeah, Steam Deck is closest because that it is a console, but you got to have a Steam account. You can't go out and buy games at the store, So that's still a barrier for a lot of mainstream gamers. So
yeah, that's why I said if Microsoft did do a handheld, I said they'd have the leg up immediately because you'd be
they would.
There it is.
They would. I mean, Phil Spencer basically said it. I don't know why he does this shit. He was like coy and shit. I don't know if you've seen the interview, but he's like, "Oh, that would be a great idea, wouldn't it?" I was like, "Bitch, just say you're making one or not say it. What is this?"
I can't stand that Ryan McCaffrey guy. So
yeah,
he did the interviews. I never liked him.
He has a punchable face.
But anyway,
I have nothing personal against him, but it's just something about him I just get. He annoys me.
He's like the Xbox version of. He might not be bad as Colin Moriarty, but he comments.
No, I wouldn't put him in that category.
Comments on PlayStation.
He's pretty fair. When it comes to,
I've seen some pretty like obvious bias when he's talking about PlayStation news and stuff. But
no,
for some reason
definitely
I'm following
biased.
him. I guess I'm either following him or somebody I follows him and reposts stuff because I've been seeing a lot of his. What do you call it?
He got his mojo back because after that business event that Microsoft had, and you had all these big Xbox dudes turning coat. Oh, you guys, you did it at the wrong time, I think, because it's not panning out for you. But yeah, he had the whole Xbox community was in shambles. They're all sad. They were all down, and they had somebody delivered their mojo back to them after this event because they were all excited and happy again. So it was a good show. It was a very good show.
All right, well, we'll get out of here, and maybe we'll be talking about Nintendo Direct next week.
Yeah, I hope so.
So, thanks everybody. Tune in. We'll see you next time.
Star Fox. We